Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals 2024. The Edmonton Oilers, the Florida Panthers. As we get underway on the Dolynny TV live stream, friends, welcome aboard and buckle up. It's quite simply going to be, as Jeff Merrick was saying on the Merrick Show today, the biggest game in NHL history. And to Jeff Merrick's credit, he didn't think he was underselling it. It is a monumental game, a where were you when moment in the city of Edmonton, the province of Alberta, and the country of Canada. Maybe for those Florida Panthers fans, maybe they care about it a little bit too. But for us Edmonton Oilers fans, this is one a long time coming for Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who tonight celebrates 13 years since he was selected first overall as a member of the Edmonton Oilers back in 2011. Well, now, on this June 24th, 13 years later, a chance to become a first-time Stanley Cup champion. How sweet does that sound for a 13-year draft anniversary? And for Connor McDavid, well, records stand just a few moments away from being broken, hopefully this evening. And oh, by the way, they're Gretzky records, which means it's all that much more incredible for what Connor could quite honestly do this evening against the Florida Panthers. For him, this is a legacy game, one that we will talk forever, hopefully cements Connor McDavid amongst the all-time greats in the NHL. For Leon Draisaitl, rumors abound all season long that he might be looking to go elsewhere when his contract's up. Is this not, at least if that becomes the possibility that happens, is this not the best parting gift you could possibly get from the absolute ashes that this team was back in November when everything was going sideways? With that, welcome aboard this evening, friends. Glad to have you here on the channel as we get set up for, like I mentioned, you might have gotten off work early tonight, Game 7 against the Florida Panthers. Alvin, Bane, Epiphany, Paulette, Gage, everybody, Tony, welcome into the live stream here tonight as we get things geared up for a longer edition of the pregame, longer by about, I want to say 10 minutes more than normal here tonight, as we'll kind of rock our way through what is going to be probably the biggest event to happen this year in the sporting world in Canada, because quite honestly, this is a moment, like I said, we have all waited, whether you're a Canadian sports fan or just an Edmonton Oilers fan, you've waited a long dang time for this. Game 7, but it ain't no Game 7 like it was in 06. This is Game 7 with history on the line in the same breath as the Oilers look to do the job that brings us home a Stanley Cup for the first time since 1993 for the Oilers, back to the City of Champions for the first time since 1990 when Mark Messier and crew led the first cup without Wayne Gretzky. As we get going here this evening, friends, welcome in Mark, welcome in Jeff, as we will have a few moments to sit back and relax and kind of take it easy before this gets going. Obviously, it is only 5:24. Puck drop scheduled around 6:15, 6:20 in these Game 7 times, as we're looking at the stats for Mr. Stuart Skinner. $167 goals against average over the past several games here, 4 through 6. And that big arm save on, I believe that's Verhaeghe, and then that big arm save in the next game against Ekblad, and then the shoulder save against Barkov, Montour with the shot from out deep and the shot over top of the net. Just some clean, simple, easy saves from Stuart Skinner. It was heard today. I don't know what it was fully meant to be, but talking about the Oilers giving up chances. They will give up the grade B chance every single time tonight. It's about stopping every single grade A chance that happens, because, you stop the grade A's, the Oilers are going to get their own. And look at what they've done here in this series so far, in the back half anyway, as we look forward to game number 7. So, welcome in Ace, Christine, and Fisher. And of course, Tough Cuff, welcome aboard, as this is going to be a historic night, and I'm looking forward to just being a simple part of it, right? This is where I look back to my younger self crying to sleep in '06 after the Oilers lost the cup. Kind of what I was hoping for the next time round. I don't think I can possibly hope for this to have happened, but here we are, roaring back into the series, up 3-0 were the Florida Panthers, now tied 3-3 with the Oilers, and the Oilers and Panthers both have an equal shot here in game number 7 to win the Stanley Cup. Sorry, they're just showing the Oilers' prowess at stopping the break-in by the Florida Panthers here throughout this later part of the series, as the Oilers obviously doing some good work at the lines, and that's what's translated to all the goals that Brown, Janmark, those guys have scored here in the playoffs so far in this series. Obviously, Brown and Janmark combining for those in Game 4 and 5. Just absolutely electric goals that got the job done to bring us to where we are here this evening. So we'll see what the Oilers have in store for us here tonight, friends. We are, of course, just getting underway. I'm going to try and save the breath a little bit here tonight as we gear up for game number 7. Matt will join us a little later on here around 6 o'clock to bring home, hopefully, the final victory of the playoffs in the Crowfoot jersey. It's either the lucky charm we've been looking for, or else at the end of the day, it comes up just short. But either way, we are in for an absolute blast of hockey here to finish off tonight's festivities in this series. Game 7 gets us going in just about 50 minutes from now. So, Graham, welcome aboard. As we'll see what the Oilers can quite do there. And Grant as well, welcome aboard. This is where it is. I shaved the beard. The reason I shaved the beard, and friends, for those of you that are still mystified why a guy would shave the beard down 3-0 in a playoff series where you need everything going for you. It was 2022 against the Calgary Flames. A bad game in Game 1 against the Flames. I said, nope, we need to change this right here. Something has to change here and now. And I shaved the beard that I had going at that point. And the Oilers roared back to win 4 straight from that moment on. Yeah, they didn't win in the Colorado series, but again, shaving the beard and getting 4 wins down 3-0 in the Cup final is going to win you the Cup. And we are 60-plus minutes away from exactly that happening here tonight. So it is all, like I said, calculated. It has been all put together. This was to be the jersey at the end of the line. They give a jersey that once we were up backs to the wall, we'd be wearing here on stream to finish it out, win or lose. Well, the beauty that is from the 15-16 season rides one more time, as it has twice up in Edmonton in the crowds, braving downtown there at Rogers Place, and now one more time here on the stream, as it has already once in these live streams. So here we go. Let's get this going here, friends. We've got the moss pit filling up right now. You got Ken and Ivanka out in the trailer by the moss pit. Everyone's getting set up. Luke Gazdik's out in the crowd right now. He looks a little uncomfortable with that. Not really a Luke Gazdic type assignment, I don't think. He's been more of a studio guy, but he's going to be in the crowd here tonight, getting things going for everybody behind him, as we'll see where we end up with obviously all the coverage we're going to have. We have an hour-long edition tonight, so on the pregame edition, we got a whole bunch to get to this evening, and that's going to be an exciting time. As we'll see where this Oilers team, where this game takes us in game number 7 against the Florida Panthers. Chris, welcome aboard, and of course Josh, welcome in as well. As we are rolling along here towards puck drop. It's going to take its way, but we'll get there eventually, right? It's going to take time, and we'll be there. But we'll see what ends up happening here in Epiphany when it comes to Patrick and his wife being on vacation. Hey, nobody could predict it was going to go to Game 7 of the Cup Final. Nobody could predict at the start of the playoffs that for sure the Oilers would be here in this moment. So a vacation well deserved for Patrick, and I will tell you, he's going to find himself an opportunity to celebrate things tonight if there's things to celebrate. Luke Gazdic currently talking things about memories with Joey Moss, who tonight when we win, and obviously tonight as the game goes on, we'll be thinking of first possible cup without Joey around. That one's going to hit hard. So we'll see what the Oilers post-game tribute is like and how this all shakes out here as Luke Gazdic gets the crowd going and everyone just erupts going nuts. But yeah, we are just moments. We are moments away from getting things going here now. Just 50 minutes to go this evening. As Chris and it looks like Linda asking if Matt will be aboard for the ride here tonight. Matt will be joining us around 6 o'clock here this evening, so stay tuned. He'll be aboard for the live stream about, like I said, 6 o'clock, somewhere in there. He'll get things going for us when he shows up from work. And then, we're going to get things rolling for 3 periods of hockey, maybe more, and we'll see if the Edmonton Oilers can come away with a Stanley Cup victory by the end of it as we continue along here on the pregame edition. Of course, no surprise for you this evening. Sergei Bobrovsky, 238 goals against average, 903 save percentage in these playoffs. Goes up against 246 goals against average, 901 save percentage, Stuart Skinner, who will start for the Edmonton Oilers. If I can put this out here early on the pregame, just something to pay attention to. I'm not going to tell you what I know or what the possibilities are tonight, but I would not be surprised in one of the post-game interviews, should the Edmonton Oilers win, to hear at least one player on the Oilers roster announce their retirement this evening. So that is, of course, if the Oilers win, because you can kind of go out on top, obviously. So stay tuned for that. I'll kind of let you know when that's happening, if it gets a chance to happen this evening. But there is a strong possibility that at least one player on the Oilers roster announces his retirement from the NHL this evening. So I've been sitting on that one. I know that story. It's been sitting around for a little while, but I'll fill you in once we know more by the end of the game this evening. So Brad, welcome aboard, and Michael, welcome in. Daniel, welcome in as well as we get towards puck drop here in now just about 45 minutes from now. The Oilers looking to bring us home for a Stanley Cup victory and a celebration that will be unmatched, with it obviously being Canada Day long weekend upcoming, obviously being an insane week of good weather, hopefully, and of course an insane week of partying for the city of Edmonton. So, we'll see where the Edmonton Oilers can take us this evening. As I'm going to quickly take a look here, and Buddy's inside Rogers Place right now. You betcha you like to see it, as the Edmonton Oilers try and bring home the Stanley Cup here in this Game 7 this evening. As Mark, welcome aboard. I think I can echo those sentiments, being excited for it all day long. It's been a hard day to stay focused, but I've somehow managed to do as such, and now here we are already on the stream, ready to rock and roll for this evening's game number 7. Toast, Mr. Doom, welcome aboard. As it's all good if you guys have plans this evening. Just coming in to say hi is good enough for me this evening, as we are going to party on. No matter what happens on the stream here tonight, we're going to party on throughout it, because you just got to be grateful. You've got this moment to be here. You've got this moment to enjoy the fact that the Edmonton Oilers are once more in a Stanley Cup final, winner or lose, Game 7, that decides who gets the cup. So we'll see what the story is. And we'll see what ends up happening for the Oilers. As Alan, good evening as well, and Jamie, welcome in as Janice joins aboard as well. Obviously, the quote board from the Edmonton Oilers, and this is the bulletin board material. As you got Connor McDavid down 3-0. I'm looking forward to people doubting us again. Stuart Skinner, if anyone can do it, it's the Oil. Chris Knobloch, I think we've shown we can beat this team. And then the Oilers, we got to go to Florida and drag them back to Alberta. Well, you've gotten it all the way back now to Florida one more time. The final time of the season, the final day of the 23-24 season, the final evening of the 23-24 season, as the Oilers look to get the job done here tonight against the Florida Panthers. Sandbox, welcome aboard. Friends, as everybody just jumps in here all of a sudden, we went from about 70 of you aboard, now up to over 95 as we get things set up for this evening's game. Quite honestly, let's just have fun. Let's get this job done, and let's go win a Stanley Cup, because the Oilers are this close to it, and you might as well get the job done here this evening. As the Oilers are, like I said, in a Game 7 Stanley Cup Final for all the marbles on a Monday night in what will be an absolute party inside the city of Edmonton for an entire week, should the City of Champions return to form here this evening. So you've got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. You got some photos of some young hockey players taking hold across their career. As we now have a sign on the stream showing off. This one's for Ben. Right, already talked about Joey. Ben, obviously a big part of the journey as well. Kind of the spark behind what told this team that it was time to win. Told this team there was a next level you can get to. Told this team there's an ability to find that cup victory. And that's kind of the belief that Ben gave to guys like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. We've seen it shine through many times over, and tonight we hope to see it shine through one last time in a celebration that obviously is for every single person along the journey here, from all the cups prior to the cups now. As right, you can also call in Colby there, Mr. Colby Cave, who we lost along the way, right around the time the Oilers started clawing this thing towards here. And it's been an absolute journey, and we're going to see the Edmonton Oilers pour their hearts out on the ice and look to get the job done against the Florida Panthers this evening. As I guess everybody's sitting here saying that you should hit the like button. Maybe I should remind you here tonight as well. If you're new to the channel or returning and you just haven't hit that like button yet, that just helps us get real crazy towards the end of the hockey game. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, and let's get this going here this evening, that would be absolutely fantastic. Jack, welcome in, and we need to get this going here this evening against the Florida Panthers ASAP. Obviously, it's 5:39 right now for the Oilers. Game time just about after 6:15, somewhere in there, around 6:20 is estimated puck drop, but I assume we're going to see puck drop actually somewhere between 6:15 and 6:24. So we'll get things going here in a matter of moments. I'm telling you that for sure. Peter, welcome aboard. Absolutely. It's been 18 years since the Oilers were last in the Stanley Cup Final, and here we are tonight once more as we get things going towards finishing off what has been an incredibly long NHL season, but the Oilers are about to get this Game 7 up and done here this evening to close it out for the final time in 23-24. Landon, welcome aboard. Klondike, welcome on. You're saying on the fence tonight, but pulling for the Oil all the way. Well, I'll tell you, for the Oilers tonight, it is really coin flip, right? I mean, not to say in terms of that, but you get where I'm going. It's definitely going to be a battle for the Oilers to fight off the Florida Panthers at home. They've done it once this series, but they have to do it a second time, and they have to turn in the performance that wins them the Stanley Cup. And that's where I say it very well could be the Connor McDavid legacy game, where we talk all about the Oilers have to do this, the Oilers have to do that, and it doesn't matter because Connor McDavid piles up 6 points and the Oilers win 8-1 or something silly. So we'll see what path this game takes, as that's where we're currently waiting for things to get underway here this evening. As Jordan, welcome aboard. As do I think the series tonight should end going down 3-0, coming back to tie to regulation, and McDavid with a historic overtime winner? I would much rather not. Just go out there and win convincingly. Don't make it a roller coaster. I'm sorry, I can't, literally can't, because sorry, I'm not gonna have the marbles to handle myself. I've been crying all day listening to the radio and listening to guys talk about what this means. So, sorry, let's go just get this job done, start to finish, right out of the gate. Don't make it interesting at all. And as well, we're going through the comments here. Tired's got a Why the Network News anchor hairstyle from 1996. Simply because I can. That's the beautiful part. I've grown a lot of hair during these playoffs. I've gone over 2 months without a haircut at this point. I think it's actually closer to 3. And for those of you that don't fully know the history of myself as a broadcaster, you wouldn't be familiar with this. Is how the hair used to regularly be worn back in the day, covering the Cold Lake Junior B ice between 2012 and 2017. So stay tuned. We're gonna get a haircut tomorrow, win or lose. The hair goes off tomorrow. And by the time I join you up in Cold Lake on Wednesday, you'll see a much different look from yours truly. So that's where we have it this evening. As the Edmonton Oilers obviously have to finish this job off, Klondike, when it comes to the beard shave. For those of you that might be wondering, haven't tuned in a little while here, I shaved the beard, right? I had the big beard going on. I was chewing on the mustache there for a while. Well, I'll tell you, I shaved the beard simply because back against Calgary in round 222, we were down 1-0 in that series, and I said, I don't want to lose another game. I don't want to lose this series. Let's make a change. Shave the beard, 1-4 straight. Yeah, we lost against Colorado, but you shave the beard down 3-0 against Florida in the Cup final. Guess what? You win 4 in a row, you win the Cup, and that's where we find ourselves with a chance to do tonight. Dave, didn't get the night off, so partway through the second, I get to watch this on my phone while working. Well, glad to be aboard at work, and hopefully you're working safe if you're on your phone, and that's really all it needs to be, right? Is as long as everybody's safe and responsible tonight, let's get this job done this evening. As Matt still have time, might need a quick shave, keep what's working. Nope, that's the thing. I shaved once against Calgary, and that was it. I didn't shave every time. I just shaved once. So we've been growing the second version of the playoff beard here. It's still more just stubble-esque because I took her right down in the old skin there on the beard shave. But we'll see what kind of beard we come up with for the summer months here as we go into summer starting tomorrow morning, right? As soon as the clock hits midnight tonight, this season is done. As Jordan could make for a great story, but so would McDavid Hattie with 10-1 women on the Cats. That's exactly it, right? The Oilers pile up the goals, leave no doubt, get the job done, get it done quick, and let's finish this off here and now. As the Oilers have to desperately win this one for obviously the legacy sake of the team, but also the fact that hey, you just never know if you're guaranteed another opportunity to get here. And for the Oilers, you've got your chance now. Take it. You've earned it. Run with it. Get the job done. As we approach, obviously, game time here in about 35 minutes. Stuart Skinner standing directly behind Anthony Stolarz, talking with Ray Ferraro as well. Kind of bouncing along behind Stolarz, taking his warm-up routine away from him almost. Trying to intimidate him a little bit there. Maybe if he gets into the game, as Skinner gets going along the boards there with the old quick moves. And we'll see what the Oilers have in store for us. We get the Sportsnet alerts on our phones now saying we are 15 minutes until broadcast time of this evening's hockey game. Game 7 against the Florida Panthers for the Edmonton Oilers in a game in which history could and will be made for the Edmonton Oilers. One might figure, no matter what, Connor is winning the Conn Smythe this evening. That one figures out pretty well, but hopefully it's after a winning effort, and it's one that he doesn't even care. I honestly, I wouldn't put it past Connor to not even touch the trophy. He just wants to get that Stanley Cup and get the job done. So, yeah, this is where Jordan's coming up with some good questions here this evening. One more question. Who do you think McDavid will hand the cup to first? On the 13th anniversary of being drafted first overall by the Edmonton Oilers in the 2011 NHL entry draft, the cup will go first to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I know McDavid and Draisaitl are buddy-buddy, but that cup, if it goes to anyone else except Ryan Nugent-Hopkins first, I don't think Connor McDavid's quite got the plot right, as this one goes to be a storybook start and a storybook ending of certain times, right? The dark times for the Oilers finished off with finally the first cup with McDavid, the first cup with Nuge, 2 out of the 4 first overall picks still with the team, still contributing. As we get things going here for some more folks joining the chat, as no pressure, but this is the biggest game in NHL history, Jack. I think everybody and their mother that even knows what the NHL is fully aware of that tonight, and that's what is going to make this evening, that's what is going to make tonight's game so dang special for all involved, is for us hockey fans. This is the moment we have waited for the sport that we love. And Kevin, welcome in as we try to finish this one off here in this one, as we are going to that removed there. As Bane, welcome in, saying I look for like a super villain. Yeah, it's fair. Probably got a little bit of that look going, right? The old early 90s, late 80s kind of look going somewhat. And Spencer, what's going on? This is it's unbelievable. Well, this is a moment, right? This is the moment in time, an opportunity we've all waited for since Game 7 against Carolina, a moment that I cried myself to sleep wishing for after losing the cup to Carolina in 2006, and here we are now with a chance to get the job done this evening. As yeah, we have to see what the Oilers have in store. Obviously, it'll take some time, right? It'll take some time here this evening to get to the conclusion, but we will get there eventually tonight. Daniel, welcome in. And yeah, we are now officially just about 30 minutes away from puck drop between the Oilers and the Florida Panthers in a historic Game 7, which has already seen the Oilers roar back from down 3-0 in this series to make it 3-3 with a chance also to clinch the cup. So, RC, welcome aboard. As again, another comment there, hoping to bring home the cup tonight. I like the positivity. It's a much different situation here as oh my goodness, there's been a trade in the NHL right before puck drop. You're kidding me. The NHL Bruins have traded Linus Ullmark to the Ottawa Senators for Mark Kastelik, Jonas Korpisalo, and a 2024 first round draft pick, the 25th overall pick. So the Bruins will run it back next year with Korpisalo and Swayman. 25% retained on Jonas Korpisalo, and what an absolutely insane move there for Linus Ullmark, as the Edmonton Oilers have taken over the Florida's arena by the looks of it here on some stuff I'm seeing on Twitter. But wow, that is absolutely insane. The Ottawa Senators acquiring Linus Ullmark on the final day of the NHL season for 23-24, and obviously making a big splash right before the Stanley Cup Final. Game 7 gets underway in Florida. Talk about trying your best to grab a headline, but I don't think that's going to get near the coverage it should. So Stanley Cup Final, depth scoring in these playoffs. 2 goals, 5 points for Fogle. 2 goals, 3 assists for Holloway. 3 goals, 3 assists for McLeod. Janmark with a goal and 3 assists. Henrique with 2 goals and 3 assists. Or 3 points, sorry. Both of those guys. And Connor Brown with 2 points, but Connor Brown with penalty killing just gets that going. So that is where we are at as we now enter the last half hour before this show gets underway this evening. So, C-Tank joins the chat for the first time in a little while. Can we get tarps off for the boys if the Oilers win? Let's just say there's something that I promised you that I'm going to have to see if we can materialize here as the game goes on. Might have to figure it out as we'll see if we bring out our old friend and dose it down, right? Let's see here as well. Devin, welcome aboard. Pumped? I don't know. I would tell you I'm an emotional train wreck right now. That's how I would put it. I'm absolutely ecstatic the Oilers are in this moment. I'm absolutely ecstatic to have this moment happening, but it's just trying to put it all together and function at the same time isn't quite working well, but we will make the best of it as we go along here. On the stream, and hopefully all comes to fruition and we are good to go. So yeah, as we go as well. William, welcome into the stream. Is so fortunate to have this opportunity. I was just saying that. I wasn't reading off your comment, but yeah, this is where we're at, right? This is a big moment for the Oilers, big moment for the Oilers fans, big moment for Canada, and now we just have to celebrate this. Kyle Okposo will play in Game 7, replacing Nick Cousins of the Florida Panthers' fourth line. And as well, Patrick joins the chat here, talking up the streams. I will tell you, it's been an adventure this year. That's the only real way to put it, but I'm glad that we have this opportunity to close it out this way. And my friend, I cannot wait to text you post-game because I got a little something special waiting for you. So let's get this going. As Klondike, was I alive in the last time the Oilers won? When it ain't in my lifetime. That's the way I'll answer that. Ain't in my lifetime so far. I've seen the 06 run. I was pretty young at that point still too. So that's where we'll see. Hopefully the Oilers tonight give me that memory before I hit the big triple decades, I guess you could say. As Jack, 16 wins, hold my beer. Well, that's the crazy part about this. The Oilers won 16 games this season, and they're about to do something crazier by winning 4 straight in the Stanley Cup Final. You think it can't get crazier, yet it does. As Matt, you're saying no time for parties or bars. You play your stream as a method and company for these Oilers games on weekdays. Hey, you're welcome. Obviously, it's been a weird Cup Final being up there in Edmonton for a couple of those streams, not streaming Game 2. Game 2 is kind of a perfect storm of a mess, you could say. It was a long weekend, and then obviously kind of trying to get everything together for that stream was not going to happen with how work went on that Monday. But tonight we are pumped up, ready to rock, and I guess that would have been it would have been the Monday. We're pumped up and ready to rock and roll for what will be an absolutely insane finish to these live streams here this evening. And yeah, we'll see where the Oilers can get this job done in this Game 7. And that's the big moment, right? Is whether you've been a fan from the start or a fan somewhere along the way, all those cups still belong to you because you're an Oilers fan. And there's a chance this evening, as there was in 06, to add another one to the trophy case here tonight. So, Dean, welcome aboard, and Dean, welcome in as from a Canuck, go Oilers. Hey, I like that. I think we're going to see a lot of fan support from Canucks fans that were along for the ride in the Round 2 series. I think we're going to see a lot of random support as well this evening. Northern Farm Girl, welcome aboard this evening. Glad to have you back in the chat as well. As yeah, this is going to be absolutely an electric moment to be a part of as an Oilers fan. An opportunity that leaving Nate in the broadcasting program and kind of not knowing what the future held and kind of not knowing what was going to come of what I felt was failure in my college career leads to this moment here with a chance to be along with you for the ride and possibly call the Stanley Cup winning goal, albeit, yeah, in my own studio on a YouTube channel, but still one of those coolest things is I'd couldn't have told you that's what I'd be doing in 2024, leaving college. So, oh yeah, so it is where it's at. And Bain, I've heard that same story a few times over here. Over the course of the day, the portable TV, the antennas, the black and white, and obviously seeing everything come in. Well, tonight we'll see for the Oilers if they can give a little bit more colorful memories for everybody watching back home and across the world this evening. AJ, welcome in, and Spit, welcome in as well. If the Oilers win, it's going to be absolutely fantastic, but that's political, so we're going to remove that there, because we're going to see some highlights here. Is this of the Oilers winning the Cup back in 1990, or what is this footage of? I don't know what that was footage of there, but is what it is. Yeah, this was a crazy run so far to get us here, and we'll see what it turns into for us Edmonton Oilers fans here this evening. As John, welcome aboard. Can't wait to get off work. Might skip the gym tonight and get going. And that's fair, right? This is a where were you when moment as Oilers fans. This is a where were you when moment as a Canadian hockey fan, and as an NHL fan. This is the biggest game in NHL history. So let's see what we've got going on here tonight. As yeah, we'll see what the Oilers can do for us this evening. As it's going to be an interesting goal, that's for sure. And Jay, welcome aboard. As yeah, it's been 34 years since our last win, if you're counting the math there, as 1990 being the last win. Christine, welcome aboard. As yeah, the big thing in the States is I think there's a pretty big hockey hotbed in the Northern California area there, somewhere around Bakersfield particularly, that will be cheering for the Edmonton Oilers here this evening. C-Tank's got your full details on the Bruins-Senators trade right there. And yeah, this is where right now for the Oilers, we just need to get this job done in this Game 7. We've fought all season long to just have a chance at being in this possible situation. And here we are with a chance to do it this evening in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So we better get her done. That's all I'm saying this evening, as I'm getting all the messages coming in. As hey now, welcome aboard, and JJ, welcome in as well. As yeah, I didn't catch much of the pregame footage, obviously talking myself over top of it, but for the Oilers here tonight, I think it's very simple. Any Oilers fan would know, any Oilers fan would understand that this very likely is a Connor McDavid legacy game here this evening in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. As sorry, not with this. Because yeah, the Oilers will have a moment here in Game 7 to get this job done against the Florida Panthers, in which will be an absolutely special moment for all of Canada and all of, obviously, Oilers Nation, as well as Linda's seen every Stanley Cup game the Oilers have been in, but yeah, the Oilers obviously have a chance tonight to beckon a new generation of Oilers fans that arrived long after 1990 was over into Stanley Cup glory, and that's where really looking forward to doing that here tonight and being a part of that experience for some folks back home, right? I mean, you never know who's watching. Patrick had a really good moment of that in Game 4 against the Florida Panthers, talking with some pretty near and dear people to pretty near and dear to us Edmonton Oilers. So we'll see how that all goes together here this evening. But Epiphany will take the break tonight and have the stats for us tomorrow. Well, I'll take that at the end of the day, friends. Anything any of you are willing to contribute to the story, I absolutely appreciate, as this Edmonton Oilers game is going to get underway here officially in about 20 minutes, as just for one game in the Stanley Cup. We'll be waiting in the building, ready to be handed out this evening. So we'll see where this game takes us, but this pregame intro is going to be absolutely electric here. The emotion, the fans, the signs, the everything that has made it what it is so far through 6 games of the Stanley Cup Final. We're looking forward to getting this job done here this evening, as obviously you've got the smiles, the looks from all the players, and just trying to get this job done here against the Florida Panthers. It's one of those moments where time may very well still this evening, in a sense, which we try to celebrate the biggest moment in NHL history. That's really, there's no other way to put it other than that this is, and quite honestly will go down in history as possibly the biggest moment in NHL history. And it's just insane to think, as we've got confirmation of Matt being on his way. He should be here in just a few moments' time, as we'll see where this goes, as the Oilers have just a little bit to go before puck drop here. The intro is going to be absolutely insane here. They're showing Bill Zito throw the water bottle right now. Everything, all the physicality, all the hits that have gone on here this evening, as we'll see how this all shakes out by the end of it. As Jason, welcome aboard / welcome in as well, and Justin, welcome in. And I'm thinking we're not missing anyone else. I think we've gotten everyone except for Brian, as Brian joins in asking about what the Florida Panthers will do to scrum it up at the end of the hockey game. Well, I'll tell you, tonight the Oilers will be pretty concerned with one thing and one thing only, and that's running up the score and putting this one so far out of reach that nothing else matters by the end of the hockey game than lifting Lord Stanley. So Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals, gets underway in about 15 to 20 minutes, friends. Doesn't start feeling any more real, to be honest with you. It just doesn't. It continues to try and be processed through my brain between the ears, and I just can't, for any reason, fathom quite possibly what we could see tonight on the TV live from Florida, as the Oilers have a chance in Game 7 to bring home the Stanley Cup. So we'll see where it is. But obviously right now for the Oilers right now, all the fans down there in Florida trying to get the job done here this evening and bring us home with home ice advantage. Everybody all decked out. Roxanne, welcome aboard. Paulette, welcome back in. You've been just hanging out, I'm sure. As Jack, am I dropping Metallica lyrics? I quite honestly don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Honestly, it's just all verbal diarrhea, quite honestly, coming out on the live stream, just trying to fill dead air, right? We got to get to this game. We got to get to puck drop here, and then we got to get this job done here in Game 7 against the Florida Panthers. Adrian, welcome aboard. We got to see where this goes. And we'll see what the Oilers can do for us this evening in this game number 7, as we pick up steam towards puck drop now. 6:05 officially on the clock, friends, as the Oilers are literally this close to dropping the puck against the Florida Panthers and beginning to decide in this winner-take-all game who is walking home with the Stanley Cup at the end of the evening. As Canada's been waiting a long time, and it's going to be a great time to hopefully see us bring it home. Rachel, welcome in, and Bug, welcome as well. As saying all we have to do this evening is show up. Storm, welcome in, and Darcy, welcome aboard as the Oilers try to get this job done here this evening against the Florida Panthers as we go here to 68. 68, okay, cool. And Mr. Kevin Bieksa talking things over right now for us as hopefully for the Oilers they get the job done here this evening. That's really all it comes down to. Is Jenna, welcome in as well. Long road here. It has been a long road here indeed. 34 years in the making for the Edmonton Oilers, and now we got to get this job done here this evening. Matt just about to come down and join us here for game number 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Matt obviously sporting the Crowfoot hockey jersey once more as he enters the set here, and we get this job up and ready to go underway. Good day, friend. Yes. This is the hair. It's time for a haircut, one might think, and we're gonna finish this off here tonight.
I never need a haircut.
Well, I'm sure you take the Bic razor to it once in a while.
Oh yeah, I can't show off the cul-de-sac.
Well, that's just it, right? That's for those of you watching back home. The hair's starting to do some funky things on my head.
That's good
too.
though. I like it.
Go up a little bit crazier, but yeah, they got the photo there of Wayne Gretzky on the Stanley Cup, Mark Messier on the Stanley Cup. The Edmonton Oilers, the new edition, looking to add their name to it tonight here following Game 7.
Hey, Sidney Crosby's on there. They're showing right now, right? Like, all the Canadian and United States greats, all of them are on there, right? So now we get to see who gets to be on it again.
Well, and that's where this evening, I mean, how much of it is a Connor McDavid legacy game, right? Like, is this the game that... We've seen Connor have games before where he takes them over. But if there's ever a time, if there's ever a moment, this is it.
Well, this is it. He's shown it. He's 5 short of Gretzky's record. But,
yeah.
You know, the record's Gretzky, Lemieux, Gretzky, then McDavid. But then it's Gretzky.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
You know, he's up with the 2 greatest playoff performers. And I believe that's points. So... Right, and look at Hyman. He's chasing. I forget who it is for goals.
Reggie Leach.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a name you haven't heard in a long time.
That's a long-standing since 1970.
Exactly.
Record.
Yeah.
So
just like look at tonight. It's been since 1945 since a game's gone from 3-0 to a Game 7.
In the Stanley Cup Final, it's a rarity. It's happened twice before. Yeah. It's a coin flip, right? If you look at it. The Leafs won the Cup in 42. Detroit failed to win it in 45.
Yeah.
The Oilers, which side of history are they going to be on tonight?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I always try to look at it as, look at the Oilers from a couple last year and the years before. We didn't see this more tight game they can win.
Yep. When
it's 2-1, 3-2, right? But the main goal is, what I'm explaining now, which I've never said, is they've always lost to the teams that won the Cup.
Yep. So that doesn't happen for a third straight year?
That the West takes it, or is it finally the East turn?
Yep. But
you know what? To me, Florida's had too many opportunities to settle it. It's looking to me like the sweep.
Yeah.
I'm not just calling it.
Nope.
How the motivations turned since they won 8-1. They just like, hey, we're a powerhouse. What are we doing? And they just somehow snapped out of it, like you saw in the regular season.
Yep.
They finally snapped out of it. They got in a groove. Skinner's on his game. Skinner, right? Whenever I hear Skinner, I think of Simpsons, right?
Yep. Well, they play that soundbite in the arena every time he makes a save, right? So it's been a magical year so far, and of course another storyline too as we refresh for those of you just tuning in. Hey, now reminding us in the chat right now that it was 13 years ago today that the Oilers drafted Ryan Nugent-Hopkins first overall. Wow. And it's something that I've already discussed on the stream here tonight, but I think common sense says... I think common sense says when and if Connor McDavid lifts the Stanley Cup, it goes to Nuge first.
I would hope so. A lot of people love Draisaitl and McDavid, you know, like Hyman, especially this year, just breakout year. But Nuge has been there through the growing pains.
Yep.
For all those years, what you just explained. It's big.
That's it.
Yeah.
So here we go, friends. JK, welcome aboard, and Jester, welcome in as well. Saying normally a lurker, but it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Screw it. Let's go Oilers. That's what we're seeing so much of here throughout this last 4 games of the Stanley Cup Finals is everybody that's just somewhere in the woodwork, whether it be here on Dolynny TV, whether it be out there in the periphery of Oilers Nation, Oilers Country. I guess I don't even know if I can properly use Oilers Nation anymore, but you kind of get where we're going. Is it's just kind of everybody's coming out of the woodwork. And if you look at downtown Edmonton right now, we'll see some live photos. I can pull them up on Twitter right now.
You know it's good.
It's nuts down there. Down there in Ice District. As you go here, it'll be Matthias Janmark, Matthias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, Connor Brown, and Adam Henrique to lead the Oilers at puck drop for game number 7. As this will be where it's at. As the Oilers look to get the job done here this evening against the Florida Panthers. I'm trying to find something. Trying to find something here that shows the crowd and what it's all about. As I don't think there is anything on social media yet. Everybody's obviously reacting to the big trade between Boston and Ottawa. Linus Ullmark for...
I'm not even worried about that stuff yet. No. Right now it's Cup. I think about that stuff later.
Right?
Yeah.
But we're on commercial break either which way. We are obviously just about 5-10 minutes away from puck drop here. With that said, I guess I should probably go grab that Pepsi. You know, that's been part of it. Although Matt with the Crowfoot hockey jersey, that guy's here.
And the Cobra hat.
Right? We are going to get this thing finished off.
Well, big thing to me to talk about really is everyone's doubted the Oilers all year. Where do you go with that conversation? Has that been talked about?
Everybody doubting the Oilers all year long? Well, it was Connor McDavid down 3-0 against the Florida Panthers following Game 3 saying, I'm looking forward to everyone doubting us again.
Yeah.
And here we are, Game 7,
Yeah.
60-plus minutes to
And
decide the
how
cup.
I said it was like at the start of the year. They were getting doubted from the start.
Yep.
Yes, it took them a while, and then they got out of the funk. They went on a hot streak, and were the hottest team probably from there on.
Yep. Well,
for the rest of the year.
I think it was them in Florida, actually, since November 24th, have the exact same record in the regular season.
Oh, really?
So if you believe in little omens along the way, that's one thing that told us this is where we were.
I saw Florida was slipping more at the end.
That's just it. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was watching, they were slipping more.
Well, Florida was running away with the league there prior to Christmas, I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah. But I think Dallas took over, or was it? No, Rangers, right? Rangers were number 1, Florida's right behind them, right? So, they had a battle there, but to me, if Edmonton could have started in a different way, you never know how this season could have burnt out, right?
Yep.
Could be having home advantage. But I just mean like how they went through everyone doubting them through the start, through even the hot streak, because there are still a little things they're tweaking, but they're winning games 2-1.
That was the thing,
and
right? They were making some weird lineup changes, some weird
different play, organization, how they want
stuff.
the coach want, and this is the team we've seen them grow and learn each step of the way, and they're still doing it and succeeding at it.
Well, Wyatt, welcome aboard. Keegan, welcome in. And I wanted to interrupt you on this one because this is a question I don't think we've ever had in the live stream before. And I'm excited for this as the Oilers are about to hit the ice here. Keegan asks, who wins the opening draw? Adam Henrique in the face-off dot, likely against Alexander Barkov. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then how long does it take for the Oilers to take a penalty and score a shorthanded goal?
Nope, can't play that. That's the last game. This is this game. Can't think like that.
Oh, okay.
They got to win a game 5-on-5.
I like it. Well, the last Game 7 in Stanley Cup Finals, there was only one penalty call.
Yeah.
So tonight, friends, I would assume the Oilers, as Matt's saying, have to win the game 5-on-5 if you want to have a shot at winning the Stanley Cup this evening. The Florida Panthers coming out, hitting the ice right now. And well, I'm going to tell you, I might have to sneak down to Pro-Am Sports in Edmonton. Obviously, Bob Stauffer always talking about them, but they've got the Stanley Cup Finals patches in stock right now, and I'm going to tell you we have to get this job done. Tim, of course, who we hear from periodically on the streams and usually in the biggest of moments, in no bigger moment than now, says the Oilers get up by 2 and they win. So
but that's the thing is they have to do that against Florida.
Yes.
You can't let them have an edge.
No.
And that's what Edmonton's been doing the last 3 games, taking that edge away from them
early and often.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
If you don't do that against Florida, look out. They'll come just as hard as Edmonton.
Yeah.
It's just Edmonton's played more tight, more offensive, and on it, like moving the feet. They're on them.
Well, and something that Patrick, the Oilers fanatic, was explaining to me, something that he had pointed out to him, is if you look in Game 4, 5, and 6, it was a change made going into Game 4 of the Oilers would have the right winger fly the zone as soon as they got the puck, because their passes are usually coming from somewhere in the middle or more or less on the left side.
Yeah.
Usually if it's the right side defenseman, it's just a flip up along the boards.
Yeah.
But on the left side, it's always coming. And because that right winger was over on the opposition blue line before Florida was able to get fully out of the zone, they always, once they started getting scored on, had to start defending that, right? Yeah. So now you're drawing a player back, and that was allowing the Oilers to spread them out a little bit more and stop their forecheck that way because they couldn't get 3 deep in on the attack, because if that puck ends up on the Oilers' stick, it's a rush chance back the other way every time.
No, exactly. But that's the part you're gambling for a gamble.
Yep. And but the Oilers obviously have the skill and the speed and everything to make it work. Yep. And as soon as they had success, Florida was on their heels, and Florida's been on their heels ever since.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It feels like to me too through the series, you can see teams how they play. Florida seems like yes, they're up 3-0 at that point. But it didn't really look like they had their legs or the motivation.
No, I mean, Florida was up 3-0.
They could have just finished it.
Neither team had played a good game in that series yet. Like, the Oilers played good enough to win in Game 1.
Yeah.
But Florida also didn't play good enough to win convincingly. Right? Yeah. If the Oilers were good enough to win in Game 1, that means Florida barely won, right? That's what the logic would dictate.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like for the Oilers.
But that's the thing. That's the point about a series. You're figuring each other out, and that's where nerves hit at start. But now the nerves are gone because you've been playing a couple of times, and then 3, and then 4, and now you're familiar faces. You got grudges. It pushes you more.
Yeah.
And for the Oilers, it's really good, right? And I see Florida's trying to hit Edmonton off the puck a lot harder, more. So it doesn't work against Edmonton. It worked against Sidney Crosby and Penguins when it used to be Florida Penguins, and Philly would knock them around, and it would flush to them, and they'd get penalties, get frustrated. Edmonton's focused.
Alanis Morissette to sing the Canadian national anthem this evening. How's that for pulling out the stops for the Florida Panthers this evening? Trying to get the Oilers fans fired up as tries to figure out the microphone there, and here we have it, friends. Game number 7, the Edmonton Oilers, Florida Panthers. I'll let that kind of play in the background just for you to get a little taste of that. You can literally hear "O Canada" being sung by the crowd.
Oh, always.
That's how many Oilers fans are truly in Florida this evening. They have taken, honestly, every shot they have shown. Oilers fans have taken over Amaranth Bank Arena in game number 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. I know they were talking about it all day, but the chills are going down my spine. It's game on. This is it for the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers this evening. As let's see where this Edmonton Oilers can do this job here in action tonight. So, yeah, for the Oilers, you gotta get this job done, and you're just about ready for puck drop to do it. As there you have it, the applause. Like, that's not quite Edmonton level applause, but that's pretty heavy applause.
Oh yeah.
Inside Amaranth Bank Arena for O Canada this evening. As Wilner, welcome aboard. I don't think we've missed anyone else. Hockey Metal, yes we have. My man, welcome aboard. As we get things finished up, Magic joined the chat a few moments ago, and let's do this as the Star Spangled Banner and Alanis Morissette will sing both anthems this evening. Okay, I thought they were going to bring out someone else for Star Spangled Banner, but
yeah, that's awesome.
She'll sing them both, and
that's
hey,
awesome.
You know what? Maybe a little psych out there from Florida, right? Bring the Alanis
No,
Morissette.
it's good mojo. I think I like
okay.
it. It's just good mojo. Hey, she's an amazing singer, and you know
She is.
And she gets to sing both there. It's great.
As the Oilers,
Memorable day.
well, it's the big thing, right? The Oilers have a big moment ahead of them, but today has been a huge moment just in general, right? I think it was the city of Edmonton. Everybody, like mayor and city council, said, yeah, guys, leave work. Let's go. Stop being at work.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, for servers and restaurant owners and stuff like that, maybe that doesn't necessarily apply. But I will tell you, those folks in the service industry, making sure all us, how did Jeff Merrick put it today? All us dopes who just watch hockey, I guess, are fed, watered, alcoholized for those of us that do the alcohol. Right? I think those service folks are going to take a lot of pride in that in the city of Edmonton tonight.
Yep.
And are going to do their best to fuel, I don't want to say fire because, again, riots and stuff are never
hopefully
good,
all
but
the
fuel the fire.
waitresses and managers get lots of coffee.
Well, and obviously
Right?
lots of tips as well. Tip your server if you're at the restaurant right now. Make sure you do that. So once in a lifetime, make sure you treat them good.
You know it. Then they treat you good.
That's just it. As we have finished off the Star Spangled Banner, friends, Stuart Skinner in the net, taking one last sip of water. Sergei Bobrovsky waiting for the drum to be banged. He's going to clap the hands together, and Oilers fans are ready to do this. Here's sections.
It is so much, so intense what it means right now.
Oh, this is...
And now it's either or.
And that's just it, right? Is win or go home. But it ain't just for the Oilers anymore. It's for Florida Heroes. Roberto Luongo gets the team pumped up. As he's a big member of the Florida Panthers, but he is still out there ready to do work in a Panthers uniform this evening as he's banging on the drum, getting the Panthers fans fired up.
Wow, really?
As this will get things going here this evening.
Well, I remember he played for Vancouver, so he has that rivalry against Edmonton too. So
Wow, and it was
of course he's gonna be there, want to be on the drums.
I mean, look at all the orange and blue in the stands. It is. I mean, I don't want to be in that arena if it starts getting physical.
No.
It is going to be chaos. Connor McDavid on the ice right now by the looks of it. I thought it was going to be Henrique and everybody starting this hockey game, but instead Bobrovsky and Skinner in net. As we'll wait to see. It is Henrique. Okay, they just showed a really deceiving shot of McDavid. However, Henrique wins the face-off back. We're underway, friends, as it's over to Mr. Matthias Ekholm, near side, right wing. Connor Brown doing exactly what we were talking about there, that right wing entry for the Oilers. Tap back down behind the net, near side, picked up by Ekman Larson, turned over to Brown, back to the point for Bouchard. The shot through traffic, redirected, rebound in front, goes far side boards. And the Oilers trying to tap it down low. Instead, Florida will carry back. The Oilers with the first good chance of the game. Spinning off the check of Ekholm. The save made by Skinner on the backhand of Lindell. And it'll be picked up back in neutral territory by Mikkola. Hauled back into his own zone. Cross the line pass for Tkachuk. Fought off there by Broberg. And Mr. Zach Hyman will lift out to center ice. Right onto the tape of 13-year veteran Ryan Nugent-Hopkins of the Edmonton Oilers, celebrating his 13-year anniversary as a member of the Oilers here tonight with a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Florida fires it down low into the Oilers zone, picked up by Philip Broberg. He gets run at. It's up along the near side wall, fired out to the neutral zone, fired back in by Florida. Skinner leaves it. and Darnell Nurse will backhand over to the near side for Broberg, absorbs contact once more, fought to center ice, and the Oilers able to skate away with it in the neutral. Everybody piles up right on the Florida blue line. Nurse is all the way down low against Ekblad, trying to skate this one out. And he'll go to the far side, is busting through the middle, missed pass there to Sam Reinhart. Doesn't allow the Florida Panthers a chance as Ceci hammered him along the wall. Picked up by Fogle in behind Stuart Skinner. Fogle will get it going to the far side off the boards. A bounce to Holloway, who scoops up into the neutral zone. Florida gathered it, unsure what to do with it. Played it back to Ekman Larsson inside their own blue, and now forced along that far side wall in front of the benches as Florida turns it over to the Oilers, who lift back to Ekman Larsson behind his own blue line once more. Fired in by Florida. It'll be an icing call. Okposo breaks up that icing call. It'll be fired back out to the blue line area. Florida coming heavy along the boards, able to get it down low into the Oilers' end. Heavy collision there with Cody Ceci able to free the puck up for a brief moment to the blue line. Ekman Larsson keeps it hemmed in all the way down low to Mr. Stuart Skinner, fired up along the boards far side. Oilers bobble it. However, the play still being made through the middle of the ice. Across the line, the shot from Fogle directs in on Bobrovsky, and then Fogle's turfed to the ground as Holloway comes in there, and Brandon Montour's on the ice. I don't even know where he fell down.
No,
but
he was behind the crowd.
Yeah, that was just kind of one of those good strong pushes to the net there by Fogle, who we know he can be a strong, speedy forward in the attacking zone.
Oh yeah,
and he showed it there for the Oilers. So.
Hey, wouldn't stop moving his feet. Right, keep going.
I think he might be headed to the penalty box here
for
the Oilers.
Yeah, that's a cross check to the face.
As Fogle gets it up and then just punched him.
Yeah, punched him in the face.
That's a tough go. And Fogle, who's had some tough penalty calls in these playoffs, a couple of knees, a couple of questionable things. That's a questionable penalty, but maybe Chris Knobloch, like I was saying, that you said, no sirree, that cannot be the game plan. Maybe that indeed actually is the game plan. An early penalty for the Oilers in Florida. There will at least be one power play for the Florida Panthers
1 for 19
in this hockey game. 1 for 19. It ain't good karma so far. The Oilers obviously outscoring.
I think they're 97% of the whole playoffs.
Yeah, and the Oilers are outscoring them on the power play. So, and I mean on the Florida power play. That's pretty insane. Face off down near side, picked up by Ekholm. He's going to rip it around the far side boards all the way back to the blue line. It's caught on there by Ekholm. The shot ripped from the outside by the Florida Panthers, and Stuart Skinner again talking about those grade B chances. Florida's not going to get many grade A's tonight. They're going to have to find a way to solve Skinner, which they haven't been able to so far on the grade B's, as this one, another one from the outside dot area, trying to put it up under the arm of Skinner. He swallowed it up. And we'll have a face-off.
I like where he was sitting. He was sitting a little bit more out than normal, and he took more of the angle.
So that one, a face-off win for the Oilers. Shoots it up the boards. Here comes now Nugent Hopkins jetting into the zone. It was kind of a broken play. A slap shot by Ekholm hit somebody. Went to the near side boards in the neutral, and Nuge was able to push it in. Florida enters the Oilers zone, directed it down deep. However, Nugent Hopkins, on the recovery by the Oilers defense, able to lift back down to Bobrovsky. He'll bring it there to the far side goal line right before the trapezoid as Ekman Larsson, who's been elevated in this series up to the power play, rolled it up ahead, and Barkov across the line for Tarasenko. Back to Barkov, near side corner cut off by the Oilers defense. On the point shot opportunity, as this one is just being whipped around the zone now by Florida. They're looking for the open lane. Tip in front. Looking back door, in fact. And Connor Brown's able to chip it out into the neutral zone. And here comes Matthias Janmark. Near side corner. Puck dies. Janmark takes a heavy collision. Helmet comes off. He's not aware of where he is, as that one just kind of caught him. And he has to skate to the bench ASAP to risk not taking a penalty there for the equipment obstruction, actually. As here's Derek Ryan busting in one-on-one. Couldn't get the shot through on the block there by Florida. The Oilers have 2 shots, Florida with 1. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Bennett carries ahead. He'll fire across the line to the far side boards. Knocked down there by Lundell once more, who's kind of been active so far in this game inside the Oilers zone. And the Oilers, as they often do on the penalty kill in this series, clear it back down to Sergei Bobrovsky, leaving Florida with 15 seconds of which to work as Bennett across the line. Loads up for Hagee, dragging in beyond the net, tries to reverse. What a cut there by Bouchard, keeping the skates closed, not allowing the puck through, as McLeod forces it down along the wing instead of being played to the middle there by the Florida defense. Back beyond the net, the penalty is killed. The shot now coming to the near side, a tip in front, and what a tip it was. Florida opens the scoring 1-0. Carter Verhaeghe. And my friends that play the NHL, if you've ever seen the special ability gold tipper on that game, that's exactly definition, textbook right there for you. If you've ever had your dreams crushed online in NHL video games, that right there is what Carter Verhaeghe just did.
Yeah.
What an amazing tip. I mean, Joe Pavelski's been known, but that might be offside. Look at that far side point. You look back there, I don't know if they entered the zone in time, but yeah, that is as beautiful of a tip as you are possibly going to get for the Florida Panthers.
Skinner even got a piece,
He did. I mean, an unbelievable way to go. Team scoring first in Game 7 of the Cup Final, have a 12-5 record. Well,
this is where the champions are being made.
You want to doubt the Oilers one more time?
Hey, right, let's do it. Let's do it, you guys.
Here we go. It was Jordan talking about possibly being down 3-0 to roar back 4-3 in Game 7 alone, as this puck is cleared back off the opening faceoff following the goal to Stuart Skinner as Hyman played it ahead. Dreissel's able to carry over the line now over to McDavid. Back to Dreissel, cut off there. McDavid squirted it free off the stick of a Florida Panther as McDavid gets his first legs going here in this game 5 minutes in. Florida across the line, near side. Barkov tips it down low. Ekholm will backhand it off of the boards, freeing up to the neutral zone. Hyman with a beautiful move, loads up. McDavid, the shot! Denied in front by the block of the Florida Panthers defense once more. And the puck's fired back inside the Oilers zone. The 11th goal of the playoffs for Carter Verhaeghe, who's quite honestly had a pretty solid playoffs. Kachuk and Rodriguez with the assists. As the Oilers tie it up in the neutral zone, Florida will fire it in. And Philip Broberg in behind his own net will tap out to center ice for Derek Ryan, who will leave there for the Oilers' fourth line to try and get going up the ice. Instead, Montour with the turnover coming back the other way. A nice solid play by the Oilers defense and Corey Perry in general to keep the Panthers to the outside. And then Derek Ryan, the veteran stick, gets going behind the net to seal off an opportunity for the Florida Panthers as they just can't get out of their own zone. Can the Oilers? Broberg in aid will get it back to the blue line and out this time for Derek Ryan, who takes a healthy pop and is fired back in by Florida. Oilers definitely back on their heels to start this first 6 minutes of the game, but they need to obviously get going here sooner rather than later as this one comes back inside the Florida zone. Forsling over to the far side for Kulikov. He'll work up the right-hand boards on a pass to Luosterainen. It's cut off by Kulak as both number 27s touch the puck simultaneously, and this one will be fired back to the Florida line, eventually out of the pile, and ripped back in by Gustav Forsling just over center as the shot's fired from the far side by Tarasenko and stolen away by Ceci, who loads up a breakaway for Janmark in on net! Beautiful! Janmark on the breakaway! As I send the cans flying, it's a 1-1 hockey game for the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers. And there you have it. The Edmonton Oilers even up this game on their third shot of the game to tie it at 1 apiece. And what a hero Janmark has been all playoffs long. What a pass by Mr. Game 7, Cody Ceci.
Not even offside.
What a finish right there.
Can't call on anything. That was beautiful.
Everybody all week was saying, well, Cody Ceci, you know, he showed up there against Vancouver in Game 7.
Well, there you have to talk about it now.
No, you don't. A beautiful pass.
Look what just happened.
And Janmark finds the back of the net. We're back underway. 13-12 to go in this first period of play. The Florida Panthers bounce the puck off the boards. It'll be tapped in now by Zach Hyman, picked up by Florida in the neutral zone as they will fire back down to Barkov. The shot save made by Skinner deflects him behind the net. He didn't know where it was. Back to the point now. Gustav Forsling with the puck. Rips the shot towards the net. Another tip in front. Bounces up over top of the net and then frees up for McDavid, who just kind of hesitated along the boards. He's just kind of hanging out, letting Bouchard do the work here as it comes back to the point. The shot flubbed up there by Forsling. Blocked in front on the second attempt. And it'll be Evan Bouchard picking up and working out into the neutral zone. Back now, shot in by Ekblad. And there will be some kind of note. I thought there was going to be a stoppage. The linesman had his arm up as it was an offside, Matt says. And this one comes back inside the Florida zone, up off the near side. This will be fought off by Florida and ripped into the Oilers zone. Out to play it again is Stuart Skinner, who, after his Game 3 gaffe, kind of got a lot of praise for handling the puck the rest of the series so far. Florida, though, on the turnover from Skinner, fires another shot on net. Dribbles off his pad and he makes the save.
The crowd thought it went in. They stood up and I was like, no.
Everybody thought that one was in.
They're dreaming.
We instead iced the puck down the length into the Florida zone.
You know, I'm really liking Skinner's positioning right now. Like what I've seen in the last 3 games. His positioning is much more good, nice, smooth rhythm.
Yep.
It's not scattered. He's really smooth going, and where he needs to go, he's there.
Well, the face-off down. Now again, here Tkachuk looking to free up a shot for Rodriguez. Instead, it comes back to the point. Mikkola got it down on the pad of Skinner, and that's exactly that calm, cool, collected kind of look. Just relaxed back there for Skinner. Makes the save. Wrapped around the boards inside the Florida end by the Oilers. As Dressel took a healthy pop off the glass there, and then back the other way, Sam Bennett's going to fire it into the Oilers' end as Ceci, now after drawing the assist on the 1-1 marker, trying to fight this one off the boards and get it freed out of the zone again. The Oilers will jam up off the boards one more time. That time the right winger not there to get the puck going up in the right direction. And another icing call against the Oilers here early on in this hockey game. But
and as you see, right after I said that, you said that was Skinner. Yeah, he looked really calm. And what I remember when I was a goalie, if I was tense and like trying to be jolty, you're not as smooth. He's playing calm and collect. So it's nice to see how Skinner really growing right now.
Well, Oilers fans, we also got the Minnesota Wild fans cheering for us. I just got that text message in, as this one's going to be flipped into the neutral zone. Batted down there by Ekman Larson. It's tied up along with Dylan Holloway. Eventually, Lomberg gets in with it and is able to get that going behind the Oilers' net as Okposo will fight off there against Sprek Kulak. The Oilers jamming along the boards, helping Otis Stenlund for the Florida Panthers, trying to get Mr. Kyle Okposo free. Instead, Stenlund's the one who eventually comes away with it, curling around the far side boards, back in behind for Okposo. Puck now over to Lomberg, back to the point for Ekman Larson. Larson rips the shot. Fired wide on that one, and it'll be picked up by Kulikov, jamming down low in the zone. Okposo again behind the net, doing his calm, cool, steady thing there. The veteran presence for the Florida Panthers just knows where and when to be in the offensive zone.
CC took control of it and took the puck away.
And you'll watch, and I want you to watch this as CC has it behind the net. The Oilers will decoy the Florida Panthers into hitting the wrong guy. The guy will go up near the puck, skirt it away about 5 or 6 feet. I forget who was saying this today, but they'll do that. The non-puck carrier will get hit, and then somebody else scoops in and grabs the puck as the puck goes up over top of the net on Stuart Skinner, just on a weird bounce, and the Oilers are able to fire it back into the neutral zone. Trying to beat the man to the puck is Zach Hyman. He's going to do it, turnstile them with maybe a little bit of a can opener hook there, but he gets away with it as it's back to the point. There's a shot from Ekholm. Fired in on Bobrovsky. Shot is saved as Henrique gets it back to the point near side. Now Bouchard loads up the cannon. Can't get it through as this will be picked up again by Henrique on the puck retrieval. Back to Bouchard. Far side. Ekholm fires the shot blocked in front. I think it hit Connor Brown. And the Oilers' fourth line hemming Florida in down deep inside their own zone as here's Brown again on another puck retrieval. Back to Bouchard over far side. Ekholm looking to shoot the puck back down. It goes to Janmark as he'll roll around the zone. Here's Janmark looking like Connor McDavid. Feeds right in front. Tied up though was Adam Henrique just on the doorstep as Bouchard rips the shot glove down by Bobrovsky. And that is 50 minutes of pure dominance by a third or fourth line in the NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7.
Right.
Wow.
That line's really flying. Really flying. Got great chemistry there. It's good to see.
Unbelievable. As friends, we are now just about halfway done this first period of play. The Oilers have had an incredible pace to start things out. Gio, welcome aboard. TK, welcome in. Greg, welcome in. Mark, welcome in. Kako, welcome in. I've missed too many of you to count at this point as we get things going, but thank you so much for being aboard here this evening, as it's been an absolute
pleasure you guys being here and watching and listening.
And I think we've saved our best for last, and so too have the Oilers here. Obviously, every little tradition I've had planned for these playoffs to get us to these moments have worked out, and here we are
I just kept to the original.
Game 7. Well, again, you promised that, hey, after that loss against Vancouver, I'm going to bring the Crowfoot jersey and we're going to win the next one.
Oh, yeah, I didn't wear it.
You didn't wear it the first
did I?
game.
No, I didn't.
And you said, I've got
and I missed every other game that we lost
that
since
we have
then.
lost. So here we have it, friends. Matt on stream, undefeated in the Crowfoot hockey jersey and the Cobra hat. And
I hate that. I hate that. That's intense. That makes more intense.
This thing's undefeated too. The beard trim's undefeated. We got game 7. We're only 1/6 of the way through a possible 60 minutes, if not more, this evening as the Oilers look to get the job done against the Florida Panthers. What an unbelievable game it's been thus far.
This is what you expect right now. It's just back and forth.
And that's just it. You think the Oilers are going to have a solid game. You think that the Florida Panthers are going to come at you.
Hey,
with
you know
everything.
what? Florida, and they have. And the goal that went in was a beautiful tip.
Like Verhaeghe has been an incredible goal scorer all season for Florida. Like you think,
well, look,
what
that
Zach
was going
Hyman
medium
needs.
glove. That was going medium glove,
And it went
5-hole.
5-hole off the left pad and in.
And it was maybe 5 feet from each other. That's a great goal. Can't fault Skinner.
Here we have it, the face-off inside the Florida zone. The Oilers' 4th line, 3rd line, whatever you want to call Ryan McLeod's line, fires up a chance. Derek Ryan, like Adam Henrique's shift before, tied up in front, couldn't get the stick down on the top of the blue paint. As it's back to the blue line, loaded up. Stanley wasn't going to shoot the puck. Now he does. Save made by Skinner. And that is a clutch one right there, sprawling out the pad. Florida's come out of this TV timeout flying. Lomberg can't tip it into the back of the net off his skate. And it'll be Okposo near sideboards, queuing up the play. As again, he gets another shift here after a good one last time out for the Florida Panthers inside the Oilers zone. Battling along the boards, Corey Perry picking up now Ryan McLeod. McLeod in behind the net will look to make the play out from behind the net as this will be left there. A line change up coming for Mr. Darnell Nurse to survey the situation as it's a move to the left and a quick out along the boards back into the neutral. The Oilers 3 wide and they are offside by a mile. Warren Foegele danced Leon Draisaitl into the next galaxy over there.
Could have stopped.
Yeah. This one, obviously, for right now, 8:11 to go in this first period of play. 1-1 the score. Florida's got more shots.
Do you know how many goals or assists Draisaitl has in this series?
I want to say not much.
Yeah,
Not much at all.
Right.
And this is where I think tonight, if he's going to have a moment in this series, it has to come now or never for the Edmonton Oilers against the Florida Panthers and Leon Draisaitl. As this behind the Oilers net off the face-off in the neutral zone. Puck picked up there by Leon Draisaitl. He's going to carry down the right wing into the Florida end. Back to the point. The nice pass there by Ceci hits the back of the net. Loads up an Oilers wraparound opportunity by Foegele. Couldn't get it going. It'll be now back into the neutral zone for Cody Ceci. He'll fire the puck in down to the far side boards as this one's carried backwards behind the net there by Florida. All the way over to the near side for Matthew Tkachuk, who's looking again. The game's starting to feel more a little bit like a chess match, right?
Yeah.
That first 5 minutes was a lot of Florida, and now the Oilers and Florida have evened out. You're tied at 1 apiece. Both teams have gotten the goal-scoring nerves out, and now the pieces start moving around methodically on the ice as this puck fired by Florida from behind their own net all the way onto the tape of Evan Bouchard, who makes a quick pass along the boards that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins wasn't quite ready for. It ties up there. 3 Panthers in against Nuge. Hyman comes in to help, and I like our odds here as he separates man from puck, and Matthias Ekholm over to Connor McDavid. McDavid getting open ice for the first time in this series is Game 7. Bouchard the shot! Pounded it, and Bobrovsky was beat, but he missed wide. As this will now be McDavid back to Bouchard. Bouchard over to McDavid. McDavid, like I said, getting open space. The shot fired towards the net. His stick. He knocked the stick out of a player's hand as Bouchard with a last-ditch effort to steal that puck away from Reinhardt, who's hounding him, able to get it to the near side boards as Nugent-Hopkins is jammed in there against a Florida Panther who's got the puck underneath him. I don't think anyone knows. No, that puck's actually tied up along the wall. Yeah. Sorry, that stick blade was deceptive. Nobody knew where that puck was except for Nuge and the Florida Panther he had tied up. And here's Kulikov far side boards battling against the Oilers down low as this will now go Lundell again to the far side. Oilers, long shift here for the top line. Starting to get run around by the Florida Panthers inside their own zone. Ekman Larson goes around to the far side. Picked up by Ekholm, and that one somehow, some way, found its way out of the zone. McDavid pretty much just carried it on his hip out of the zone. And then, is that an icing call there, or did that puck go out of play?
I think out of play.
As that was a pound of a shot off the post.
On the outside of the post.
See, that's the thing. Listening without the game audio, it's hard to tell what's going on sometimes. And that shot by Bouchard didn't miss by much. I think we both knew that. But to see it hit the post, light bulb goes off. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, this game so far through 15, 14-ish minutes has delivered everything it was built up to be all day, all weekend.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Like, and you look at both teams' successes. They're both the top of the league. It's who gets it tonight gets to have the glory.
And it's so strange because you'd think in a year in which you play 82 regular season games, a year in which most teams that win the Stanley Cup play 21 to 24 games, that it all comes down to 60 minutes plus, right? You play 60. If a team has a lead after that 60, that final 60 of this game 7, you win the cup. If you don't, we go to overtime and it's sudden death, next goal wins.
Yeah.
It's just, it takes so long nowadays with the expanded schedule in terms of days off and stuff to get to this point.
Yeah.
And now it's just going to be over in a blink of an eye.
Well, no, we get to see who gets to be the champions for the whole summer.
Yep.
You know, that's what it is, and get to come back next year, and who gets to be the one that everyone's after.
That's just it.
Which every year, McDavid's actually always being, people are like chasing him, working him, know he's there, they have to play him differently.
Yep.
But they're used to it. They're used to it. They have this young superstars, and they're just all growing together.
Well, Cody Ceci, obviously 2 goals, 5 points in these playoffs, and 2 points in Game 7s that have been pretty impactful. A pass to Janmark here, and a goal in Game 7 against the Vancouver Canucks. Friends, let's do this. Another shot of Cody Ceci, obviously. He wore a lot of blame in that series against the Vegas Golden Knights as well. I don't know if that's the correlation of what they had on camera there just a moment ago, but the shot fired off the face-off down into the Oilers' end to the far side boards. It bounces off of somebody into the neutral zone. Ekman Larsson with a blind backhand through to center ice was able to find an open stick for the Florida Panthers. Instead, Luosterainen unable to come up with it in the middle of the ice, and the Oilers will transition back the other way. A nice pass off the board. Shot from the outside there by Henrique. Lofted a little beautiful rebound into the slot there. Something you talked about throughout the Dallas series. This one's going to be fired up into the middle of the ice. Brown takes contact, was able to kind of scare the Panthers away from making that play, and Ceci will fire it down low. And there's a lot of bumping and grinding going on out there as that shot by Brown hit somebody in front and went onto the tape of Bobrovsky to cover up with that puck.
Just sitting there in front of him.
This is what I was trying to get at before the puck broke loose a couple times there, is you had talked about, you know what, don't pass it, right? Don't overpass. If you want to pass it off the pads.
Well,
that's something you talked about against Dallas, a little bit against Vancouver.
Yep.
And it's something the Oilers started getting at more and more in the playoffs.
Yeah, can't use it all the time, but it is a good one to go off of.
And that's just where we almost found ourselves a goal. However, now we have...
But that was McDavid picking the pad, that's why, you know.
Yeah, that's just it, is when you got guys doing stuff like that, you know it's intentional, right?
Oh, you know it.
Here we go. Draisaitl, Foegele, and Holloway face off inside the Florida zone. I know you're not going to be shocked here. Draisaitl just got waved out of the draw for the 1,500,000th time these playoffs. He's been waved out 1,000,000 times, it feels like. As this is a win now by Bennett, the Oilers are able to shovel it back to Ceci. Shot fired towards the net, goes wide of the net, and it's picked up by Kulak, far side point. A nice little help along there by Foegele, gets it to Draisaitl. Ceci pounds it off the end wall. And again, that puck, looking for those weird little bounces, jumped out in front but couldn't quite do it. And here's Tkachuk across the Oilers line on a settled up puck back to the blue line. Foegele blew a tire, shot fired, misses wide, as the Oilers got a good opportunity there given up for the Florida Panthers. And yikes, just about ended up going awry for the Oilers, but they were able to fight it off. As here's Bennett back to the blue line. The shot from the point goes up over top of the net. 4.5 minutes to go here in this first period of play as the puck's tied up along the near side wall. Bennett will come up with it. And I don't know, do we have a penalty upcoming to the Oilers? They've got heads down here.
This is playoff hockey. I didn't like that.
What was it exactly?
I don't know.
That's okay. See, every time I've asked you what was the penalty and you answer you don't know, because you're watching the game, but you're watching the little details that I'm not talking about, right? You're letting me talk about what's happening.
I'm not sure if he was Florida was holding the stick or CC actually tripped him. I don't know. I don't know because CC had to go and pick the stick up after he shoved the Florida guy out of his way when they got up.
Okay, so we could have a little situation here, but the Oilers looking like they may be going to the penalty box here as
we're in Florida, of course we're going to be.
Well, and that's just it, right? You want to count the Oilers out for taking penalties or this or that. You can count the Oilers out for whatever. They are not going to go away quietly tonight.
No.
And I don't think tonight's going to be a night where the Oilers traditionally make it interesting at the end. Right? If they get a chance to close it out early, they're going to close it out early. There's no doubt about that here this evening for all involved. As friends, we are inside the last 5 minutes of the first period. Welcome aboard to Dolynny TV. What I will tell you tonight, I haven't promoted this yet, but if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button here on the channel. I know we're closing out the season technically tonight, but as it comes down to it, we got a whole nother year starting on Friday. Obviously, things will kind of get underway tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday before the draft. So stay tuned. Come hang out for the rest of the summer. Promise you we'll have enough content to get by, and we'll see where obviously the summer takes us heading into 24-25. But before that, don't let me get ahead of myself, Matt. We got 45 minutes of hockey to decide a Stanley Cup winner.
Yep.
By the way, the Oilers are involved, if I didn't tell you. I don't know if I've let you know the Oilers are playing tonight in this Game 7 Stanley Cup Final. Sergei Bobrovsky so far stopping a couple of good pucks and getting some post help.
Yep. Again,
as Drysdale would say, post is not good goaltending, and the Oilers have to take that to heart here in this game number 7 against the Florida Panthers following that Bouchard bomb from the point. No penalty on the play, so I'm not sure what all the hoopla was about, but there you have it. As the Oilers will tap it back inside the Florida zone off the end wall. Stenlin will come out to play the puck. Nice forecheck there by the Oilers. Turns over the puck, and it'll be fired out by Florida as Derek Ryan, I believe, couldn't quite come up with it. And Florida, though, guilty of icing as Broberg, if you've ever seen a player coast in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, Broberg coasted for that icing goal.
Yeah.
That's that, and I'm not calling him out for that. I'm saying that's the calm that the Oilers are playing with in this Game 7. Is like Philip Broberg, a raw rookie in the NHL, realistically speaking, feels comfortable enough in Game 7 to skate that slow towards an icing call, knowing that it ain't about what you do in the first period. It's about the legs you have in the third and beyond if you need them. As McDavid loses the puck now to Lomberg. Lomberg across the line. Shot fired. Save made off the blocker of Skinner as it bounces off the end wall. Florida behind the net trying to get this going now to the near side point. Gustav Forsling rips the shot. Nice. Save made by Skinner. And that's one other thing you've heard all day as well if you're listening to Sportsnet Radio. The Oilers will be content all day to allow Florida to shoot from the point as they feel pretty confident about it as this Forsling hammering it into the far side boards. Shots fired down low by Verhaeghe as Florida straight up missed that puck, and it'll be Bouchard loading it up along the near side wall. Tried to get it out on a tap to Hyman. Hyman got tied up, and Bouchard again will instead reverse this time to McDavid, who comes up now to Hyman. Hyman busting up through the middle of the ice, trying to skate it down deep. He will. That is a successful drive into the Florida zone, albeit the bounce off the end boards didn't quite work out for the Oilers, and Florida was able to lift back inside the Oilers zone. 2:39 to go here in this first period of play. As that'll be picked up by Tarasenko to the far side. Kulikov fires inside the Oilers territory. CC off the end wall, looking to backhand this one free. Can't quite do it as it'll be battling there against the wall. And now to the near side. No, that puck didn't roll. Instead it was chopped back. Slot shot! Kulikov over top of the net. And the Florida Panthers come within inches of sealing the deal to put them up 2-1 with 2 minutes to go. Instead, Ekman-Larsson still sustaining the zone time for the Panthers. Will lose the puck against Henrique. Henrique gains it back on another loss there against the boards. And now He's going to carry over to Cody Ceci. Ceci up along the near side, fires into the far side boards. Kulikov with the puck. He'll spin around inside his own end as Ekman Larsson, who's touched the puck heavily here in this hockey game so far, was able to get to the far side. And with that, the puck enters the Oilers zone down in the near side corner. Draisaitl helps along to Fogle as Ryan McLeod tried to come zooming in. Nurse with a nifty little play at the blue line was able to fool Rodriguez for a brief moment, allowing the Oilers to get back in defensive posture. And Ryan McLeod, on a nice recovery there, was able to steal it away. But instead, the Florida Panthers right in front after a little bit of a gaffe there by the Oilers. Tkachuk got the chance.
Oh, he put it just over, though. He just, like, flick. Get a little flick.
What an unreal chance there for Florida. And obviously all these looks that Florida has had, you're only allowing Stuart Skinner to get more comfortable out there. And just like that, it's been an absolute electric game so far. Game 7 has delivered. And Tkachuk, I mean, he airmailed that. Like, if you've ever seen an air ball over top of the hoop in basketball, picture that.
That actually hit the post and up.
Did it? Okay. Just an absolute vertical shot. As this Verhaeghe, the shot off, blocked in front. And this one will now be fired back down low by Verhaeghe. Another block in front by the Oilers. I think that one, though, did at some point hit Skinner. Bouchard off the ankle, blocks it over to Barkov. Florida has almost 2-1 the Oilers' offensive zone possession time here early in the first period of this hockey game. As back in front, blocked in front, shot away by the Florida Panthers. They couldn't quite get this puck free, as this will be fired back in behind the net. Knocked down there is Reinhart by Ekholm. Florida fans screaming for a penalty. They aren't going to get it. There's one lone Oilers fan behind the Oilers net right now as Skinner comes up with a chop of the puck. And this is going to be Hyman lifting back the other way. Florida coming hard and heavy in these final last 2 minutes of this first period. 26 seconds, I should say, in this first. Is a nice hit there by Bouchard. Buries Reinhart on a cross check. No penalty upcoming. Bouchard with a weak tap. Out to center. Didn't get out. Mikkola fires a shot. It goes off of Ceci. Winding around. Mikkola rips another shot. Saved by Stuart Skinner. 7th shot of the game for the Florida Panthers. Loose to Ryan behind the net. Time running out. 2 seconds to go. Florida back to the point. Shot ain't going to count. Skinner made the save either way. And we are tied at 1 apiece after 1 period of play between the Oilers and Panthers in this Game 7.
Right.
Doesn't get better than this, friends. The Edmonton Oilers obviously giving us a thrill so far.
Right.
It's been an absolute treat. Matt, we should quickly recap the scoring summary here in this hockey game. Right now, the Oilers and Panthers tied with 7 shots apiece, 18-7 the hits for Florida. So they're trying to wear the Oilers down. But you see the Oilers' confident play. They're patient. Yeah. They know what it's going to take to win this hockey game. And they're just maybe hoping Florida burns themselves out instead of burning out the Oilers the way Florida's hoping to. 8-6 the face-offs for the Oilers. So again, if you've listened to the channel, something I've always told you, when the Oilers keep the face-offs 50-50, 51-49, their chances of winning go through the roof. And right now, winning the face-off battle 8-6, you're tied 1-1 after 1. That's a sign of that. And the Oilers with 8 block shots in that first period of play. Carter Verhaeghe from Anton Lundell and Evan Rodriguez. Matthias Janmark from Cody Ceci in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final has us tied at 1. As Jack says, 40 minutes to the cup. But you might need more based on how that first period was played. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we could be in for a great finish one way or another. Or how about the other way?
I'm here until the end.
All right, friends. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Once again, I'm going to tell you, you got to hit that subscribe button here tonight. I don't have a goal. We'll get back to that after we get back from bathroom breaks. But I'll tell you right now, hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. Let's do this. Let's go Oilers. We want the cup. All right, Oilers fans, I guess Panthers fans to that same effect. We got a first period intermission to get to. Thanks for being aboard here on the channel. Appreciate all you hanging out with us, all you crazy hockey fans, as we get this Game 7 going back in this first period intermission. I want to say thank you so much for being aboard this evening. Really do appreciate you hanging out. I can't say that enough. I don't know how to put that fully into words, to be honest with you. But as we look here, the subscribers obviously up over 16,277 now. So thank you to all those of you that hit that button while I ran upstairs quick. To be honest with you, this has been an absolutely insane night to be a part of. Obviously an insane time to be an Oilers fan. Really the last several years. And now we get to culminate it with what is so far Game 1 of, well, Game 1 through 7 of a Stanley Cup final. It leads us to this final moment. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm looking at my phone trying to talk, and the brain cells aren't quite computing what they should at this point. But thank you again for hanging out with us. And obviously now we look forward to seeing the Oilers try and get this job done here in period number 2 and period number 3 as Matthias Janmark, the hero in period number 1, scoring the goal that makes it 1-1 for the Oilers. And, well, what a big goal it was, right? It was a beauty for Janmark, one that I think he's been working for all season long. A guy that didn't quite have the regular season he would have preferred, but he ends up with the effort here. I got to quickly run upstairs, friends. I forgot the water bottle. I'm going to run on fumes if I don't grab it. As we got to grab that. As here we go, friends. First period intermission winding down on the stream right now. We're trying to get everything sorted out. My apologies for having to run upstairs. You saw what I grabbed. Of course, you always forget the water bottle, don't you, Dolynny TV? Yes, I do. That's my stream specialty, you could say. I am forgetful. We'll save that a little bit later on. We'll see what we got. But yeah, that's where we're at. Is friends, welcome aboard. There's so many in the chat here tonight. Everybody chatting along. Thank you again for hanging out this evening. Really do appreciate everybody coming aboard this evening, hanging out and having a good time. And obviously for the Oilers, I appreciate them putting in the effort so far through one period of play that has us in a position 40 minutes away to still win a Stanley Cup. So you love to see what we got going here, but it's obviously that solid, beautiful tip by Verhaeghe in front that puts the Florida Panthers up 1-0. It's Janmark that responds to make it 1-1, and then we played a heck of a period, both sides, the rest of the way home in that first. As it's just unreal. Yeah, I'm trying to catch my breath. That's one thing I'm going to try and do in this intermission, but I don't think there is any of that. Heart's pounding way too fast. It's yeah, my heart's pounding. You just wait until we get that next just wait until we get that next goal for the Oilers and we have a moment to celebrate that. But yeah, this is where we are currently sitting, friends. Philip Broberg with a couple of big hits there from some Florida Panthers, but he absorbed contact well. The Oilers defense taking contact well and making the right plays at the right time, as it is where it's at. But yeah, for the Oilers, you got another gear in you. That's the best part we know about this team right here, right now. Whatever you're thinking after one period of play, as I see Coyote Steve's comment there, whatever you're thinking, the Oilers still have another gear. They did not lay everything on the line in period number 1. And there was a couple of plays that I talked about there throughout the play-by-play that are evident that the Oilers know this is going to be a long game and they have to be ready to win it every single second of the game, not just in the first 20, not in the last 4 minutes. You have to win it every 60 minutes, and sometimes to play a good 60, a solid 60, you don't need to win every minute on the ice. You just need to hold even, and that's essentially what the Oilers did in that first period against the Florida Panthers. So here we go. We'll see what the Oilers can do for us as this game will get back underway. And I think one last check-in with David and Elliot, and then of course we'll go to commercial break and come back with game number 7's second period. As we got to see what the Oilers can do. Is Jack, now that you say lay it on the line, yeah, that's I definitely know that's a line somewhere. As I'm going to throw down a whole bunch of song lyrics. I feel like Jack's calling me out on everything, so it is what it is. Is this Edmonton Oilers team needs to obviously get the job done here in this second period. The more you get it done in the second period, the more you can kind of play the game that has gotten the Oilers to this Cup final appearance in the third period. You look at the effort against LA in the first round in a couple of third periods late in that series. You look against Vancouver late in that series. You look against Dallas late in that series. You look against Florida late in this series. You know what you need to do, and you know as well if you're the Oilers, this second period's ripe for the take, and Florida came out flying. They have only a little bit left in the tank. Make them use it, and then take it to them the rest of the way home. As this is where the Oilers obviously have time in this hockey game to get going. So we'll see. We'll see where this takes us. But I'm liking Jack and Ace, of course, throwing it back and forth there a little bit. Yeah, that's two veterans of the Dolynny TV live streams. I love to see it, as this is Matt sitting there shaking the eyes, trying to gear up for the second period.
That's tough.
It's tough. It's
That's
fair.
tough.
Yeah, it's fair, as we are going to see.
Smokes or coffee to get you prepped for that one.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's going to be a tough go here for the Oilers in this second period. Obviously, Florida. Hey, I mean,
they're here to play.
Yeah,
they're here to play.
It's not even a thing where you can say full marks to them. They owned the physicality in that first period. They owned the speed. They owned the zone time. But
when opportunities
Oilers
came, they took their chances, and that's how they got the shots on net. They're not just making pretty plays, which they always fail at back in the day.
Well, and the Oilers also too here kind of didn't work that hard in that first period. Not
defensively, they did.
Defensively, but not to the extent that, like, overall game that we've seen the winning efforts in so many of these games, these playoffs. And what I'm thinking, what we were talking about on the stream here just a moment ago, is kind of one of those situations where Florida came out fast, hard, and heavy. Are they going to burn themselves out early? And the Oilers were kind of cognizant of that in the first period and said, okay, come at us. Come at us. You've done it this series. We'll let you do it. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the second period, the Oilers start.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, what I saw there, what you're explaining, yes, Florida could get the more when they got in the offensive. They kept the position. They played the man around the puck. When Edmonton's doing it, Florida's stopping them at the blue line. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Being more man-to-man and shutting the Oilers down. That's what I'm seeing out of that. But when Oilers get a chance, just look out.
Yep.
Just look out.
And that's the scary part here, right? It literally was a stretch pass by Cody Ceci up the ice, and Janmark poked it across the line and sniped it.
Beautiful backhand, I think, wasn't it? That was
forehand.
It was forehand?
But they were showing the replay on there, kind of the deception that he used.
Yeah.
So he comes across the line, picks it up, carries it straight. He's cutting towards the net, but he pushed it on the forehand this way, cut the backhand, and then snapped it forehand.
Yep. Well, and that's it. That's all about faking the goalie out.
Yep.
But which I always remember as a goalie when I was in Okanagan Penticton Hockey School for 2 weeks. That was intense. But you watch the player's body, not the stick. Yep. That's where they're telling you where they're going. Because like you said, he moved the stick over, but he was still going on an angle. So he's just trying to fake you out so he gets more of a reach.
Yep. And
it's a mind game as a goalie. Like you see Skinner there, he wasn't getting many shots on him. But when they're battling in the corner, on the goal line, in the corner, Skinner was looking in the corner, looking out front. Where is that defenseman? Looking out in the corner, looking at who's in front. Like he's basically, as a goalie, you're checking both ways.
Yep. And that's something else you've talked about in these playoffs in terms of the Oilers' key to success, any team's key to success in these playoffs, when you're looking to gain one little advantage, is move the goalie. right?
Yeah.
Cycle down low, go back to the point, go back down low, cut across the zone a little bit. Just make the goalie move around, and you fatigue him out a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, whether it lasts the whole game, whether it lasts that shift, whatever, but if you gain that little slight edge, shift by shift by shift, and it's something that we've talked about with Bobrovsky, as anybody that's covered this series, is we're getting late.
Yeah.
Bobrovsky hasn't had a break these playoffs other than maybe a few moments against the Oilers and maybe one other place in the series before, but Skinner had 2 games off, right? Skinner's got a little bit of rest on his side that wasn't built into the schedule originally.
Didn't Florida after the first round? They won 4 straight. They won 4 straight against
No,
Washington.
but I'm talking in terms of team games played versus goalie games played.
Yeah.
Like that's where Skinner's, yes, he's played a lot of games, but he also missed 2 team games straight up and got yanked in the 1 game too. So
exactly. So he's a little bit more rested. Well, he's got to decompress, figure himself out, which you know what? That's what the Oilers are best at right now.
Well, and right now this first period intermission,
just like you're saying that, look at it. Florida scored right away, and then they came back.
Yep.
Beautiful play, beautiful goal.
Well, we got to see what happens here in this second period. I guess the chat was talking about possibly a scoreless period for Florida. If Florida does score in this period, does that bode well for the Oilers if they score more, less, or kind of keep it close? Or is it one of those things of this has got to be a shutdown period?
This has to be more Edmonton rolling and getting a couple goals. Maybe leave Florida with 1 or none.
Okay.
If they want the cup. But you know what? Florida's not going away. They're number 2 in the league. They're not going away, and their nucleus they have, you can't count them out for a second.
Well,
right? Against Rangers was the better team in that series.
Yep.
But when Rangers coughed it up, Florida made them pay. That's the team, how deep they are. Anybody can score. So if you cough it up, they will make you pay.
Well, in Florida as well, fully healthy for the most part, right?
Oh, yeah.
They've had really no question marks in terms of health, and they have guys like Nick Cousins and Kyle Okposo that are interchangeable. Just so too do the Oilers, but to the extent that both teams are able to keep the core guys on the ice and then maybe mix a piece here or there. Lomberg's coming in and out as well in this series, but it's kind of one of those weird situations for the Florida Panthers where they haven't really changed much in the series overall. And now they're just 40 minutes away from the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And the biggest part is that might not be good enough because the Oilers, in the same breath, are 40 minutes away from the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but you look at it as we've seen where Edmonton's had the better start and then had a bad finish.
Mm-hmm.
This is starting as a not great start out the bat there.
Yep.
And then they turned it around.
So
it's motivation a little bit on the Oilers side right now that they turned around and they scored. So they're resilient. They're here to play. I think they're more hungry because they turn look at Vancouver and Edmonton that series. When Edmonton would score, Vancouver turned around and scored in the next minute. Almost every time the whole series. So who wants it more?
Well, friends, again, I'm going to flash this for you a couple of times. If you're just tuning in and you want to stay up to date with your Edmonton Oilers, or if as a fan of another team you want to stay up to date with the Oilers, stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. Just need to sneak this in. We're just about to start period number 2. Sorry, Matt. As we get things going here. 18th franchise in NHL history to play a Game 7 in the Cup Final. And what I will tell you as well, we got a big week upcoming. I'll be up in Cold Lake for most of it, but we'll have the full
Smelling
videos
salts
going.
are flying, people are spitting, they're all into it. Let's go. Rituals are done. Let's go, baby.
Florida bench is ready to rock and roll. Paul Maurice gives Chris Knobloch a mean look, and we have the face-off down inside the Oilers zone, flip back off the draw all the way to Stuart Skinner. He'll play off to the far side boards there. The defense of the Oilers able to get it to Leon Draisaitl, loading up now. Brett Kulak on the pass from Dry across the line, curls it in front. Nobody's able to get to it quite exactly as Holloway got tangled up, and the Florida Panthers retrieved it out to center, fired down into the Florida offensive zone, and here's now Montour firing a shot, tipped in front again by Tkachuk. but Stuart Skinner that time not to be denied stopping that puck. 19:33 to go in this second period to play. The shot's officially now 10-6 for the Florida Panthers. So yeah, this is where it's at. Is Montour a good shot and wide open?
Tip.
I mean, wide open little tip tape there for Tkachuk.
Skinner's dancing. He's smiling. He's confident. He's in the groove. I see his face. He's not worried. He's just looking around. It's all good. Well, another day in the office, boys.
And Stuart Skinner's got a little something here in this games 4 through 7 that's going on that we'll talk about post game. Is this one fired right in front by Florida off the draw, couldn't get it through, and now coming back the other way. Here's that third line for the Oilers. Connor Brown charges it in. Henrique trying to get to that puck first. Throws a big hit up high on Ekman Larsson. Kind of caught him on the chin there a little bit with the shoulder. He's no worse for wear. Oilers tap it back over the blue line. Instead, Florida was able to keep it onside, and Tarasenko ripped a shot, and then Nurse kind of spun out Lundell as he kind of turnstiled into the corner there, and it'll be battling along the near side wall as both teams tangle up. Nurse again takes Lundell down. No love lost there. Henrique's on top of Lundell. I don't know. It's a pile-up. And away comes Philip Broberg with the puck coming up along the right wing as he'll fire through the middle of the ice. Knocked down by Florida, chipped back in by Nurse. And to the far side corner behind his own net, Ekman Larsson will pick up this puck here as we're up and underway in the first minute and a half. Matt Mikulikov with the puck over to the far side. Ekman Larsson on the boards, gets the tip into the Oilers zone. Skinner out to play the puck, rims it around the glass, comes up over top on Nugent Hopkins, and it's going to go all the way into the Florida zone. No icing. What a draw weight there from Skinner to get it off the glass and out and all the way down. And here's Ekman Larsson tying out, or Ekholm. I've made that mistake a couple times these playoffs. Tying it up. Here's Bouchard down the right wing. Shot fired on the wrister over top of Bobrovsky. Both teams a goal in this hockey game. Here's McDavid dancing to the net. Backhand! Denied. You had a feeling that might just be the one. Instead, the Oilers keep the puck alive. Ekholm over to Bouchard. The shot from traffic in front blocked. And Bouchard again tangles up there. He's trying to keep it alive. It'll be fired out by Florida, and McDavid will fire it back in to the Florida zone, where Florida somehow gets a puck off somebody.
I saw Bobrovsky had that save of McDavid, no problem. He knew where he was going.
It's one of those things. You see McDavid in that spot on the ice with the puck, and all common sense leaves your brain. You're just getting ready to jump out of the chair and celebrate. As you look right there, and I mean, you're right. I did see Bobrovsky lean, but he
was leaning.
He came across and made the save, no doubt about it.
He's been scored on the short side too many times now.
The face-off. It's true. Face-off down for the Oilers, picked up by Edmonton behind their own net. Puck came to the near sideboard. Stenlin's battling there for it with Okposo helping him against Ryan. It's eventually the Oilers defenseman that gets it down the ice into Florida territory. Montour over to the far side for Mikkola. Bounced up off the boards. Here's Okposo alone against Kulak. Kulak keeping him to the outside, pushes him behind the net. And then in support comes Ryan McLeod, stripping the puck away and jamming it out to center ice off the tape of Derek Ryan, who's still out there after that shift got going here earlier on as it goes around behind the net now. Bobrovsky kind of tipped it in behind, couldn't quite get it through as this one will be picked up by Florida as it'll go through the middle of the ice to the far side wing across the line. The shot fired on Skinner, save made, and Florida again off a weak play by the Oilers gets the turnover. The shot from the wing, save made, rebound in front. Skinner gets run, and then a whole bunch of calamity in front. And we're going to have a stoppage in play as they blow something down. Tkachuk took somebody out.
Oh, Tkachuk's always talking.
Right?
I didn't do it, I swear.
No,
right?
what do you mean?
Watch the replay. Oh, he did it.
As Tkachuk's saying, if you're going to whistle us for a penalty, you whistle us for the goalie interference, not for the dive.
Couple. Yeah, there was a couple.
As that was a shot on net. Yeah, Rodriguez kind of throws the shoulder into Skinner's neck area.
Not
of the
on purpose,
mask.
though.
Not on purpose.
It wasn't on purpose.
And then Tkachuk kind of turtles down and takes out, literally turtles down and takes out Fogle.
He did lose his edge, but he turtled up to be like, "Hey, don't hit me."
Yeah,
because skates are dangerous, man.
but you still got to watch, just the same as a high stick. You got to watch where you're on the ice.
Yeah, he
you
did
take
trip
a guy's
him.
feet out.
Yep.
It's a trip.
Yep.
And that's a tough penalty to take if you're Florida. That's one of those weird ones, that's for sure.
I like seeing that the refs actually still calling the game.
But it's a 3 for 23 power play for the Oilers in this Cup final. Both teams have been immaculate on the penalty kill this series so far. But, I mean, you're operating 95 plus basically for both teams. I think Florida's 90 plus. Here's Nugent Hopkins in the middle over to Bouchard. The shot from the point blocked in front, broke a stick. Goes in behind the net as McDavid tries to lean it out to the far side point. Kept in by Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins down the left wing to the dot over to Draisaitl on the far side. Draisaitl spins off as it comes back to the point now for Bouchard off a pass from McDavid. Back to Draisaitl. The Oilers loading up here as McDavid spins off the dot back to Bouchard. The shot not coming. He had everybody fooled. The shot squeaks through Bobrovsky. In behind the net it goes as Nugent Hopkins, a good effort to get to it first. Draisaitl in support, able to get it back in control. Back to the point now for Nuge over to Bouchard. A minute 10 to go in the power play. Oilers not wasting much time here, getting a couple of looks. And now McDavid spinning over to Draisaitl. Had loaded up the shot but didn't like it. McDavid now Draisaitl. This is a moment in this hockey game. Back to Draisaitl. McDavid over to Draisaitl. The one-timer! Blocked in front by Florida. They can't get it out. 15:28 to go. McDavid over to Bouchard. Down low as Draisaitl will go back to the high point for Bouchard. Near side now, McDavid. McDavid along the ice to around behind the net. Wraps it in front. Draisaitl hammers it on to Bobrovsky, but the glove down. Captures it along the ice. 35 seconds to go in this power play. And the Florida fans getting on their feet for the penalty killing effort. But my goodness, you got to say the Oilers generating some chances there on that power play. And just unbelievable as that one kicked away last second by Ekblad. That is some kind of sense right there. And Draisaitl queued it up off the back of the heel there and just couldn't quite get it on net. And then that one just dribbles off and Draisaitl never touched it. As that's...
second line gets to have a little fun.
That's just it. They'll get out there.
Oh, no, I thought they changed. No, they didn't.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
McDavid will stay on the ice as
Yeah.
McDavid loses the draw back. Florida immediately under pressure behind their own net. 30 seconds to go in the power play. They will clear down the ice, will the Panthers. And now Stuart Skinner picks up for Evan Bouchard as Bouchard leads out with exactly 15 to go in the second period. Bouchard loads up McDavid. McDavid across the line, cutting in. He just cut through two Panthers like it was nothing. Over to Bouchard. Bouchard looking to get things going near side for Nugent Hopkins, right in front for Hyman. Couldn't tap it back door. Now here's Bouchard. Back over to McDavid. McDavid loads up. Bouchard, the save made by Bobrovsky. And now all of a sudden a little pushing and shoving. And McDavid tells Hyman, don't get involved. We're keeping this for a little bit here. So...
yeah, it's getting intense here.
tough go, but what an opportunity in front for Hyman. He just couldn't bite it off his kneecap. And then that one for Bouchard, couldn't quite fire it through. But this has been a hockey game thus far, and it's going to be awesome to see where this one finishes up. 14:38 to go as the Oilers and the Panthers tie up off the draw. Nobody really sure where that puck is. It ends up at center ice. McLeod offside. Yeah, that's what I thought. It had popped out in the neutral. Perry was circling back for it. And then somehow McLeod had it across the blue line in an eye flash. So
it was a little late.
Yeah, just a little. As this one now will be a line change for both teams as they queue up the next face-off. As we'll go here, and I don't know if it'll be a line change for both teams. In fact, I think the Oilers are going to keep their line. No, it is indeed. Yeah, Mark Henrik Brown. Oh, that should figure. Anytime you need to keep the momentum going, throw out those guys. That seems so backwards as an Oilers fan, but I absolutely love the fact that that is where we are at. 14:25 to go in this second period. Bennett over to the far side. The shot creeps down low in the Oilers zone from the blue line as Verhaeghe had been given the puck off the dribble. And here's now Ceci batting it back into the neutral zone, couldn't quite get it through. And again, another Florida Panther player goes tumbling in the turtle position through the neutral zone, and Evan Rodriguez thinks he beat icing, but
It was a
never
draw.
mind. Yeah,
It was a draw.
and I guess just the reverse of baseball, draw goes to the defenseman.
Oh no, yeah, exactly. Just like a house poker.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think he had a step on him. Just barely a step on him. That's why they call it the icing.
All right. Well, let's see what the Oilers can do off this offensive zone face-off. Henrique loses it back for Florida, and they are able to jam out into the neutral zone all the way down in the Oilers' end again. Another icing call there. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Third team in NHL history to force a Game 7 after trailing the Cup Final Series 3-0. Matt, you're saying since 45 this has not happened.
Yeah.
42 is the only winning effort. The Oilers looking to join the Maple Leafs from the 42 year to get that victory here tonight. Obviously, we're tied 1 apiece. Ekholm off the opening draw inside the Florida zone. Right in front, a pass that I think Connor McDavid would like to have skirted back to the middle a few more feet for Matthias Ekholm, who had skirted down low as well. But it's 1-1, just under 14 minutes to go in this second period to play. What is more important to you here? And this is it's both are one in the same, but what's more important to you is just the Stanley Cup victory, or if you have to part it apart, both are the same thing, but they're two different storylines to the same thing. Stanley Cup victory versus the history of going down 3-0 and then winning the Stanley Cup.
Oh, it's the history, of course, because it hasn't been done in that many years, like 80-some years. So where'd you go wrong with seeing the Oilers win it? It's Florida's fault. They didn't finish the other 3 games. So to me, the Oilers deserve it. No, but they have to show it one more time.
And that's the important caveat that I kept making on all the videos yesterday.
Yeah.
Is yes, it's very easy to give the Oilers the cup for their effort through 4 through 6.
No, one more.
But you gotta show
Do or die.
why I want to give you the cup.
Yeah.
You gotta show
win
why
4.
you deserve it, right?
Gotta win 4, but I guess in Edmonton's case, they have to win 4 in a row.
That's just it. And
Against the same team.
Again, we go back to friends. For those of you wondering, right? Matt's rocking the more thick facial hair over there. If you tuned in earlier in the playoffs, I had quite the beard going. But the key here is I went from the handlebars to the big old beard, back down to absolutely nothing on my face once the Oilers were down 3-0. For those of you that hate the channel, you say, oh, you gave up because it was over. I tell you, again, as I did in that live stream, if the Oilers lost Game 3, I was shaving the beard because against Calgary in, I want to say 22, we ended up going out there and shaving the beard after Game 1.
Oh, yeah.
1-4 straight against Calgary. I knew that I had to throw this jersey on and throw that together. That was the last 2 tricks I had up my sleeve for good luck in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And now we've got 14 minutes and 20 to go in the third in a 1-1 hockey game to tell us if those 2 things plus that thing and that thing come out combined for a victory here tonight.
Hey, I've been growing this for 2 years.
Oh, I'm talking this thing.
Oh, this is a fresh hat from the Mustang shop.
All right, face off down. 1 back by the Oilers inside the Panthers zone to the far side boards. Now Perry tangles up there along the end wall. Ryan McLeod battling there, can't get it free, and now back the other way. The Florida Panthers cut to middle. But it's a nice tip down by the Oilers defense, and here's Perry loading up the attack. He's going to spin around to the far side boards inside the offensive zone. Fogel sat down on his bum. I'm not sure if that's a penalty at any rate of hockey, but that's just one of those awkward plays.
His feet. He did slash his feet, I saw. But they're not calling much now, right?
And I mean, end of the day is I don't want to see a weak tap on the legs that takes down an Oilers player awkwardly. And
he was already turning and being awkward, but then he got... Puck was in his skates, so Buddy just slashed at it and missed the puck.
Well, because you know that call is coming back your way at an opportune time, I'm good with the whistle being avoided on that one, that's for sure, as we've got a face-off now. Again, inside the Florida side. Face-off's down, Draisaitl wins it back. Here's Fogel off the dot, and it's a shot fired off of Bobrovsky's blocker. A good little opportunity there for Fogel following the face-off. This one's going to go around to the boards. Draisaitl steals it away. Again, you want to see a sign the Oilers are going to win tonight. Draisaitl having a big goal this evening will be the one that tells it for you as the Florida Panthers cut it off at center ice. Rip it back in on Stuart Skinner to the far side boards. Draisaitl picks up and he's going to cut through the middle of his own zone. Carry out to the far side. Instead cuts right again to the middle. Drags it over to Holloway. The shot through traffic. Mikkola blocks the shot again. Activating his Kulak down the left wing. Pokes it ahead. Holloway helps it on as this one goes around now to the far side and picked up now by Verhaeghe. And thank you so much for hitting the super chat button there, my friend. Appreciate that as this comes in behind the Florida Panthers net as Reinhart gets it going. Verhaeghe to the near side will fire the shot on Skinner. And again, another great B opportunity that Skinner is not going to allow to the back of the net.
He was watching. Yep. He was watching.
As this one, that's Florida's first little good chance in a little while there.
First good chance in the second period.
Good opportunities, and then Verhaeghe fires a shot, and Skinner, you know what? He sealed up the post, but he also knew that if it hit him in the chest, that it was going to drop, and he was able to make that stop no problemo.
Yep.
12:26 to go here in this second period of play. Henrique in the dot, 50-50 against Lundell, who's also 1 for 2 as Henrique's 3 for 6. And now we'll have a stoppage to reset the face-off one more time. Here's Henrique against Luosterainen. Face-offs one back by Henrique, lifted out into the neutral zone. Florida bats it down right onto the tape of the aforementioned Henrique, and it goes around to the far side boards inside Florida's zone on the dump in. Batted up along the boards there, cut off by the Oilers. It tips up at the blue line. Somebody's going to come up with it. It's the Oilers that indeed do come up with it. Back to the blue line for Broberg, skating down the right wing inside the Florida end. As the Oilers defense of Broberg and Nurse have activated here a few times tonight as Henrique fires a shot off the leg of a Florida Panther in front. Henrique's just finding the puck every which way. The puck just keeps gravitating to him on this shift. Brown digging along the boards, can't come up with it. Now behind the net, Lundell fires to the near side. McDavid back to the point. Ekholm blasts it around the boards to Janmark. Oncoming is Bouchard. Fires it back around to the near side boards. McDavid looking for that moment here in Game 7. Ekholm over to Bouchard. Down along the boards behind the net. Kulikov. Nugent Hopkins digging in. Takes contact against Bennett behind the net of Sergei Bobrovsky, and Kulikov comes away with the puck. McDavid pushes his man off, frees it up for Nuge. Pass over, stays onside. Ekholm leaves it there now for Hyman. Spins off the check. Oilers' top line is cooking here as Hyman goes in behind the net. He'll push back to the blue line for Bouchard. Over to McDavid. Blue line as McDavid falls down, gets right back up, pushes down low for Nugent Hopkins. Back to Hyman. Oilers' top line is moving as McDavid comes pushing for a puck back to the point. Here's now Ekholm, the blast, the save made as Hyman gets sent to the ice. And what a shift, what work from the Oilers' top line right there. That is a illustration of what you've got to do to win a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final. Just unbelievable work by the Oilers down low at the points, all across the zone, moving their feet, rotating, doing everything. And you know what? Still, just to be denied on the slap shot of Ekholm by Sergei Bobrovsky.
Oh, and he gave it an extra backhand wind up.
Yeah.
Big time.
And you look at this here, friends. The Oilers rolling along in this second period. 10:48, 1-1 the score, 13-12 the shots for the Florida Panthers, albeit the Oilers have definitely kept going along here in this one, as that will be fired back down low off the draw. Here's Florida back the other way. Ekblad's going to charge it up the boards. It'll go inside the Oilers zone. Kulak along the wall against Barkov, lost the puck. Back to the point now for Ekblad. Ekblad rips the shot, tipped on net, and Florida all of a sudden finding the hand-eye in game number 7 of the Stanley Cup Final as Ceci hammers a hit. And that's going to load up the Oilers' second line here for a rush up the ice as Kulak comes across the line. Here's Perry. Perry with the puck over to the far side. Ekholm. Ekholm fires it around behind the net now for McLeod. He couldn't handle the puck. Perry just kind of throws a little bumper car action hit right there. And now here comes Ekblad again across the Oilers' line. He'll wind down the right wing, fire around to the far side boards on the rim. And Florida trying to use the boards effectively. Bouchard cuts it off though Back up now, Ekholm across the line. He'll backhand inside the Florida end as Ekblad got it back into possession. Here's Florida. The shot fired. Lands behind the net. Wrap around in front. Goes wide. Skinner had no clue where that puck was going to settle. It came in front and he was able to avoid disaster as this one comes back to the near side. Picking up. The Oilers are able to get Fogle to get it out to McDavid as here comes Bouchard. Bouchard across the line. He'll fire it in as Fogle is switched off, at least on this shift, with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for the time being, as this will be lifted and fired back in by the Edmonton Oilers opponent, the Florida Panthers, here in this Game 7. Nurse turnstiles a Florida Panther. Tkachuk got absolutely ragdolled there, and it was legal. That's the big thing, as this will go back into possession for the Florida Panthers on a knockdown off of a Broberg clearing attempt, as here's Nurse battling against Lomberg as the Panthers tied up there. Okposo back to Lomberg. Henrique spinning off the check there. Lomberg will fire down low here again. The Oilers battling along the near side wall as Okposo finds some free space. Shots fired up over top of the net. Might have hit the side of the net or the crossbar or something. That was an awkward angle shot. Stenlin fires it off the shoulder of Skinner. And all of a sudden, Florida now starting to pile on the opportunities towards the net. Here's Broberg loading back the other way. Broberg carrying down the left wing, firing into the middle of the ice. And that ends up hitting the glove of Ekman Larsson, going all the way back into the opportunity for the Florida Panthers to fire it in. As here's Ryan. Ryan is able to get it back behind the net inside the Oilers zone. That is a terrible camera cut. There's a shot off the blocker as Skinner save made yet again. His 14th of the night on 15 shots. The Oilers lift out to center ice, trying to home run stretch Janmark, who's got the legs churning. He got to the puck first. Is it going to be enough to get the Oilers possession as Brown comes up with it with Derek Ryan back to the point for Kulak. Over to the far side. Ceci, the shot fired, save made, or else it bounced wide, as this one again will be picked up by Brown. Brown is going to skate around. Brown still rolling. Is this now Draisaitl out there on the ice as this one misses Holloway? Holloway spins off a check back down low to Draisaitl. The Oilers again continuing possession here inside the Florida zone. Draisaitl switched off with Bouchard. The shot save made. And Perry will come up with the puck over to Holloway. Holloway on that far side corner area of the goal line for the Florida Panthers zone. Ekholm down at the top of the dot as he'll go over to Bouchard, over to Draisaitl. Oilers again getting extended zone time inside Florida's territory. Holloway now skating this one along the boards, trying to see it helped along by Florida. Turned over now. The Oilers have gotten 2 line changes inside the Florida territory. Nice poke away there as Florida is just clutching and grabbing for all dear life here, and they get it out into the Oilers zone. Bouchard turns it back immediately. Florida unable to change the lines. Here's Hyman in behind the net. Forsling roughing him up as Nugent-Hopkins comes across the line. McDavid ties up as well, as McDavid in there helping out Nuge. It's going to be poked out to the neutral zone past Bouchard. Florida hustling for the puck. Ekholm's going to be able to get to it first. He'll battle along the wall there against Luosterainen. And oh my goodness, this puck goes into the boards, and you just don't want to see all that good effort go wasted here as the Oilers are inside their own zone, having to contend now with fresh legs for the Florida Panthers, as McDavid will spin it over now to Ekholm, near side corner, up the boards it goes, and a nice chop there by Nugent-Hopkins gets it into the neutral territory, and to the far side boards it goes as Florida will chop in off a leg and get it into the Oilers territory. Fired out by Bouchard, fired back in by Florida, fired out this time by Ekholm, and Florida will not come up with that puck as Ekholm's now been out there $1.44 himself, as here's Nuge, the shot in his 13th anniversary since becoming a member of the Oilers. It's turned back by Florida, and here's Brown without a stick, does good body work against Tkachuk. That is excellent positioning by Brown to hold sway. And this one will now be picked up by Florida again. 5.5 to go in this second period of play. Down the right wing, shots chopped towards, and Skinner kind of made a nasty save on that one. Puck came loose due to a collision in front. Henrique battling there against Rodriguez as Fogle picks up the puck. He's going to skate it over now for Broberg. Broberg up to the far side boards. Holloway spins it in. And Holloway is going to go charging in. We've got a long time without a whistle, it feels like here.
Yeah.
As Holloway will go over now to Fogle. Fogle back to the high point. And that one's fought down instead accidentally by Florida. Shot right in front. On the goal line, goes wide. That puck had fooled Bobrovsky to exactly the edge of going in. Florida able to clear. Reinhart down the wing, scores! The Florida Panthers answer right back off a good chance. 2-1 with 4:49 to go in the second period of play.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It's a good game, though.
I mean, you can't be upset at that.
No.
That is, Florida was a second of an eyelash away from being down 2-1, and they come back the other way. Look at this one right here, right across the pad crease area of Bobrovsky, literally a pad length off the goal line. And then this one coming back, Reinhart down the wing. Reinhart faked him, and then Skinner gets beat to that far side, or near side post, I guess, is Reinhart. Obviously, he's scored 50 goals this year. He knows how to score them.
That was a nice goal.
And that's a nice goal all day. I can't fault Skinner. Yep.
Yeah, and Skinner was like triple screened with everyone flying by.
4:49 to go in the second period. Oilers fans, you want something that gives you hope. Can we check how long it took Matthias Janmark to answer back after the scoring was opened by Carter Verhaeghe? Oh, look at that. Less than 2.5 minutes later. We got 4:49 to go in this second period. You said
respond.
As long as you keep Florida to 1 or none in this period, you're probably okay. Obviously, that is if the Oilers can get a goal here as well as this one. Comes back now, Mikkola behind the net. He's going to backhand up along the boards as Okposo sees it fought to the blue line. Florida across the line. Stenlund down the wing. The shot fired towards. Jammed off the side of the net by Stenlund. Just couldn't drag around the out position. Stuart Skinner. McLeod battling there to get it to the blue line. Stenlund keeps it alive. Okposo will fire to the far side. And Corey Perry will bat in behind the net now for Brett Kulak. Kulak up the middle of the ice. McLeod's fought off there, and this one will be carried now by Perry. Perry across the line trying to get through traffic, couldn't duck and dodge, and this one will now be fired back in by the Florida Panthers for an icing call with 4 minutes to go in this second period of play. 2-1 for Florida, but hey.
This is where the champions are made,
This
right
is exactly
here.
it. End of the day, let's get this job done here. The Oilers, you want to doubt them. We've doubted them all year. I think finally, in the final game of the year, it'd be a mistake to doubt them at this current moment. As McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice together here to try and turn the tide a little bit for the Oilers. As this is Bouchard over to the far side. Puck's bounced by Hyman. He tipped it in though, so no icing on that play. And Ekblad comes up with it, drifts it through the middle as it's bashed off the glass, back inside the Oilers zone. Here's Bouchard. Bouchard in behind the net. He's looking to the near side. Instead plays it right up the middle for Draisaitl. Draisaitl right through the Florida defense. Here comes McDavid. Over to Draisaitl, the one-timer. Goes off a body in front and up over top of the net. 3:26 to go in the second period. Draisaitl just couldn't get the one-timer off. And
I think Bobrovsky got a piece of that.
did he?
Yeah. Nope. Defenseman.
Just missed wide.
Wow. Motivation's changed a bit though since
Yep.
the goal. Florida's got that edge. You
Well,
can feel it on the ice.
You got to think as the Oilers, if you haven't learned how to come back from being down, whether in the standings, whether it be in a game, whether it be in a series, this is the moment, right? This is the moment you show that payoff. Do it again. Absolutely. The Oilers have to come up with that effort here.
Yeah, and that's where champions are made. I say that for a reason because I remember, if everyone remembers Calvillo for Montreal Alouettes.
Yep.
He was Mr. Automatic. When it was last 4 minutes, he produced. He'll get you that touchdown, just like Tom Brady back.
Yep.
He was playing. He was down, I think, 30 or 24 points in a playoff game for the Cup, and he came from behind.
Yep.
Anything is possible if you can do it.
Absolutely, and that's the thing is down one with more than a period to play, and you got Connor McDavid on your team. And it was something they were talking about, I think, with Grant Fear on some broadcast. I think it was Kipper and Bourne today on Sportsnet Radio. I want to say that's the story I'm going with. they were talking to Grant Fuhr, and it's kind of like, when the team gets deflated by a bad bounce, a bad penalty, whatever, how easy was it to just pick your head up, look down the bench, and wait, there's Wayne Gretzky. Wait, there's Mark Messier. Wait, there's Yari Curry. Well, the Oilers, my friends, can do that themselves.
Yep.
Wait, there's Connor McDavid. Wait, there's Leon Draisaitl. Wait, there's Zach Hyman.
There's Hyman. Hey,
Nugent Hopkins.
There's Fogle.
Any one of these
Ryan.
Oilers. If these
McLeod, guys, they're all can put it in the net any second. They just got to make the plays happen now.
If these guys haven't shown that they are absolute beauties, as Bouchard pounds the shot off the draw, then rips it down low as Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, McDavid reunited over to the TV timeout, 3:18 to go. Here in this one, shots fired towards the net. Skinner deflected it into the corner. As here's now again the Oilers battling this one out back to the blue line as Forsling comes up with it inside his own zone. After that puck, it hit the blue line and just kept dribbling all the way to Florida's end. Florida fired it in. Here's Ekholm. Ekholm looking to get this one going. Ekholm down the left wing, skates to the middle for Bouchard. Tried to tap it across center, couldn't quite cleanly do that. Florida will fire up into the air, lands on the tape of Ekholm. He'll chip up along the left wing, tapped in there. Fogle seems like he can get to it. He will. Fogle spins the guy out. Nice little deceptive work there by Fogle. Puck bounces back to the blue line. Here's Broberg going for a skate down low. Spins off a defender there. Nice little deceptive play. Shot fired, blocked in front as Philip Broberg will tap this one back inside the Florida end. 2:24 to go in this second period of play. Montour up the right wing over to the far side. Goes off something, hits the end wall. Bounces to the Oilers' favor and back up the right wing it goes as Janmark stepped into. And in behind the net now, here comes Darnell Nurse. Nurse will fire it up along the boards. Tipped into the middle of the ice. And here's Mikkola down into the Florida zone behind Bobrovsky. Janmark has taken a few healthy pops in this hockey game. Montour fires the puck up into the Oilers zone. Skinner down low. He's going to see it played nice again. Draw the contact. Play it to the next guy. As here's Kulak firing it inside the Florida territory. As here's Mr. Dmitry Kulikov, former Edmonton Oiler, turning it over to Matthias Janmark. Janmark wrapping it back up the boards to the far side. It hit his stick and ended up there as Henrique's trying to tap this one free. Florida's going to carry across the line. Barkov back to the point here now is Kulikov. The shot fired, save made.
Good save by
Skinner makes the.
Yeah.
There you have it.
What I'm seeing is Florida is playing really more tighter defense and not letting them to the actual middle. That's the issue. What's going on? They got to start getting just shoot some pucks on net
and jam it up off the rebounds.
Well, you can't get any goals if you can't get in front.
Nope.
So if you can't get to the front, got to throw it on net or look for a real bad rebound off the boards, right? Like they did that other game. Remember?
Yep.
It bounced off the boards and it came right out in front. Right? You just gotta look for other options beside what you keep trying over and over is what I'm seeing. They're getting great circulation. They're doing all that, but they're not getting the good chances on net.
Well, and I mean, you look at the shots on net so far this game, 16-15, and we're almost done.
Yeah.
The second period of play. The Oilers, they got to start pounding the puck on net. You know Bobrovsky's tired. You know everybody on the Florida side is tired. But the longer you let them play with the lead, the longer that belief starts raining down in their brains that, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
Just hold on.
Yeah.
And for the Oilers, right now, all it takes is one. Right?
Yep.
Well, you get one shot, one bounce, one goal, you're back in the game 2-2.
Yep. And then go back for more. And that's the thing is, you just got to be hungry that you want to get more, not just one. You want to get 2 or 3. You just keep going.
Yep.
Right? And make the bounces go to you. Don't wait for them to come to you.
No, and that's where the Oilers desperately have to show up here and get this going. So
you gotta get creative. You gotta, if that's what they're doing right now, what I see isn't really getting them what they need. They need to start changing it up, like they do all year, constantly. They're always changing up, adapting, and this is where they need to come through.
Well, we'll see what the Oilers can do here on this one. As there's Paul Maurice on the bench talking things over with his assistant. And we'll see what the Oilers can muster up here in the final $1:40-ish of the second period. Again, I haven't seen the time clock come back yet, so my apologies there. But
$1.07?
We've got, I don't know what it is exactly.
I'm
I'm
just
seeing
guessing.
$1.16,
that's
$1.46. I don't know. $1.26, I guess, is what the actual number was. As the Oilers win the draw, fire it down. Here's McLeod in on the attack. McLeod will fire it around. Is Tripp and welcome aboard. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's an icing call against the Oilers as a $1.16 is actually now on the board. So we're a few minutes behind here. We'll refresh at the end of the second period, but $1.16 on the icing call as the Oilers just have to get this going here in this late second period. Bill Zito with the big old eyeballs. He's still just freaked out a little bit like, oh boy, we're not quite sitting pretty yet. As Draisaitl will win the drawback for Bouchard. Bouchard lifts ahead, trying to get it down to the tape of McLeod. The Oilers definitely trying to hit that over the top home run pass a couple of times in this hockey game. Bouchard draws in contact, and then the Florida Panthers able to come up with it in behind the Oilers net. Bouchard again battling there. Draisaitl threw a cross check on Bennett. 54 seconds to go in the second period. Bouchard came away with the puck. He will play it up off a tape across the line. It's an icing call.
Draisaitl tried to reach his leg back. Guess not enough.
Not enough, but 47.7 seconds to go in the second period. As that was a nice little play there by Bouchard as it got tipped away from Draisaitl. And yeah, that's a million miles offside. But like I said, good attempt there for Draisaitl to try and make it closer than it actually was. As this will be a face-off now for McDavid. He's trying to win it off the draw forward, trying to walk the man around. Couldn't quite do it as this one will be fired off the end wall. Ekblad takes contact from McDavid. This is where champions are made in the final few seconds of this second period, although Reinhart will have it tipped up off his stick and into the Oilers' zone as that one landed on a Florida Panther that was able to get it ahead. That was Verhaeghe. He had it stolen away. The Oilers transitioning back the other way. McDavid trying to spin onto the puck. Couldn't quite do it. 19 seconds to go. Hyman aids in the recovery. Here's Bouchard. The shot. Rebound in front. Nugent Hopkins battled over to the far side. And this one will come now down inside for an icing call with 6.2 in this one.
Yep, nerves are flying. Yep. McDavid's trying to fly.
And McDavid, he wanted that. Ekblad just with the perfectly timed stick. And Bouchard couldn't quite get that off the chest to bounce there for Nugent Hopkins instead.
Yeah, you know he's looking for corners, not for his chest.
As this will be Draisaitl to take the draw. McDavid back to Bouchard. Barkov gets in the middle. And that'll do it for the second period of play. As they have been all season long.
Behind.
Down but not out.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. As here you have it, the last period of the year. Unless we end up tied. As Hano is saying, for all the marbles friends, it is a 2-1 Florida Panthers lead at the end of two periods. Carter Verhaeghe, Matthias Janmark, Sam Reinhart, the points on the board, the goals in the column. The Oilers down a goal going into the final period of the 23-24 season in Game 7 of the 2024 Stanley Cup Final. We'll be right back, but before we go, I want to remind you, please consider hitting that subscribe button on the channel. Stick around. We got an interesting summer upcoming. What do you say, friends? The Edmonton Oilers just 20 minutes away from Cup Finals heartbreak or Cup Finals elation. Celebration could very well still be on in Edmonton, and that's the most beautiful part of all this tonight, is we're far from done, as the Oilers have been all year. You know what a knack they have for making that last 5 minutes absolutely electrifying, and I'm looking forward to every last second of this, the third period of the Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Florida Panthers have looked dang good so far in this hockey game, but hey, the Oilers are still going to have their moment this evening at some point, and they just need to make it count. As we continue along here tonight, friends, on the broadcast, thank you so much for being aboard. I want to give a huge shout out to those that have hit the super chat button, keeping us commercial free tonight. I figured we'd probably go commercial free the whole way anyway, but those that slam down the dollars obviously get the little extra shout out there, as Koss and Trippin hitting the super chat button here tonight, and obviously getting things going on the Dolynny TV live stream. But as we go here, friends, thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. I mean, in the chat, all the names that I'm seeing here, everybody coming aboard, it is too much to mention. I do apologize if I've missed you tonight. Know that I have probably seen you in the chat at some point. I've probably seen you send a message. Just trying to get to all of it, talk about all of it is a lot to handle when you're trying to call the hockey game. As I'm seeing rappers' comments here, did not have access to Game 6, so tune in. Yeah, really glad we did. We were watching Game 7, but listening to your play-by-play, well, I appreciate that very much, as it's been obviously a very fun hockey game to call so far, and we'll see what the Oilers and Panthers have in store for us here in Game number 7. It's going to be interesting. So, friends, I'm going to take a moment just personally on my side. I've been yelled at about it enough here on the stream so far, and fair enough, the moment belongs to us, the Oilers fans, not the numbers. But things are obviously zipping along here this evening, as Magic is bouncing between the channels, and that is, hey, you know what, glad you're supporting it. Obviously, every time you bounce in between channels, you add an extra view to the stream, and at the end of the day, streamers are never going to complain about having their views go up that way. So the Florida Panthers, when leading after 2 periods of play in the past 2 playoffs, 18-0. But Connor McDavid, is he going to be denied? Well, one might think the answer is no, at least still at this point, as we get towards this evening's Game 7, third period, down 2-1. We're excited to see what happens here. Again, the scoring summary, it's only a 2-1 game. Carter Verhaeghe, Matthias Janmark, Sam Reinhart. Florida has 2. The Oilers have 1. Florida out-hitting the Oilers 2-1. Shots are dead even at 16 apiece. Oilers winning the face-off battle 20-14. And I'm going to tell you, that will, at some point in this third period, lead to an Oilers goal. Whether it's enough to tie the game, make it interesting, whatever the case might be, we'll see. But Florida, 11 giveaways. It's just that one shot so far by Sam Reinhart, perfectly placed on Stuart Skinner, who is fighting back against tremendous speed into the zone of the Florida Panthers, not quite able to catch up to what was coming his way. And obviously we're now down 2-1, but hey, plenty of time still to get this job done in this evening's hockey game. And Draisaitl's been ripping the one-timers, as Chet mentions there. You got to say, for Draisaitl tonight, if you can find a way to hammer home a power play goal, it is going to be a night and day difference in terms of how this one finishes up versus how it might without him getting a power play or 5-on-5 goal. But so far, as it always has in this series for the most part, power plays ineffective. And I think there's been 4 power play goals all series. We're now through 6 games, 2 periods, and this is where we lead. So we'll see what ends up coming from it. Obviously, friends, we're approaching historic numbers here on the Dolynny TV channel. I think the excitement for tonight's live stream, as much as I wanted to buy the hype early on in the day, crying in the truck, driving around, doing deliveries, I will tell you, it has lived up to absolutely every single moment. And the fact that going into the third period of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, the Oilers are down, it's just the icing on the cake, really. given the way this Oilers team has played, battled, and had to come back all season long. I know there was some jokes there early in the live stream about being down 3-0 and winning it 4-3 in overtime. No, tonight, you win in the third period, down a goal entering, and it's a story of just overworking your problems and outworking the opponents. So, as Northern Farm Girls say, we need 2 more. That's it. Oilers get the next 2. They win the hockey game. It's as simple as that, friends. Stanley Cup final about to come down to the last 20 minutes of play. And we got to see what they can do here in this one. As the heart is absolutely just a pounding. As Connor McDavid Square in Newmarket, Ontario is packed up with Oilers fans, Connor McDavid fans, absolutely hanging out, having a good time. I know there's a watch party out there in Cold Lake, Alberta. At least that was the plan tonight, to have a watch party in Cold Lake. And now you can assume everything the Oilers need to do this evening comes down to scoring that next goal. And you've got everything here. Everybody doing everything. Everybody trying to pull it together, every last little string that we can do here in this one. We got to figure out a way to win this hockey game, right? And I think pull out the stops. Whatever you got up your sleeve that you haven't pulled out yet, pull it out. The Oilers are 1 period away from either overtime or winning the Stanley Cup, or the worst of the 3 eventualities, that of which we don't need to talk to about yet now. So, friends, as well, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's just all the nervousness just hits me right now. Let's get it out before we have to do the play-by-play again, as we are just trying to get things going here in this third period of play. Figure it out, but as we got to see what this third period has. I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. We've been down and out a handful of times this season and still unable to be finished off. If you think that the Florida Panthers can finally do it, that's fair. Good game for you. I appreciate that sentiment. But until that final buzzer ends and we have a result, I'm not going to be told what's going to happen here, unless, of course, the Oilers blow it up. But you gotta believe the Oilers really do still have a shot here to do something magical in this third period. Because every time we doubt them, they come back with ferocity, they come back with willpower, and they come back with an absolute dummying result. So we'll see what that will play out to be here in this third period, friends. I'm so excited for it. To be honest with you, it's going to be an absolute amazing finish to tonight's hockey game. As we're looking at everything here, kind of looking to see some old highlights, some old stuff here. 20 minutes for all the marbles for the Oilers. And people posting the Don't Stop Believing. Like, there's, oh my goodness, there's so much good stuff out there right now on this. And we'll see. We'll see what happens here in this Game 7's third period. And we'll see what goes on. Magic, we'll catch you in a little bit there. But we are about to witness what the Oilers have up their sleeve. We have gone to one last commercial break, and now we'll see what's all going to crack down here in this third period of play. As we look at all the fans outside in, of course, Molson Hockey House and all that area of Rogers Place down there. You got Mama Stanley out there as well, getting all decked out and doing everything. Final commercial break, and then it is Game 7, third period time here on Dolynny TV. Again, friends, I'll tell you, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much to those of you that have hit the subscribe button tonight, but I would encourage you to do as such if you haven't done it yet, because I'll tell you, we're on our way to a pretty magical summer as well for the Oilers if all goes according to plan. Got some holidays booked here around this next few days. And if I need to use them to go up to Edmonton to enjoy a parade, I'd like to do that. So, hey, let's, what do you say? Let's do this. Let's figure this out and let's get this job done here tonight in game number 7 as we continue along on the live stream. As we go here to see where we're at, we are rolling along on the old stream right now. Obviously, the game 7 against the Vancouver Canucks getting a whole ton of views right now as well. Kind of one of those things, right? Looking back at where we were the last time we were in a game 7 these playoffs, is we got support coming in from Brazil right now. We got support coming in for the Florida Panthers. We got everything happening here in this this live stream chat here tonight. But the Oilers closing in on the finale of the Stanley Cup Finals. Third period, Matt comes down the stairs. Are we ready to do this or what?
Are you ready to do this?
I don't know. You going to go sit there and work on the dryer instead?
Well, I had to get a distraction out of my brain, so now I feel a lot more calm. Not so
tense. I like
I'm
it.
shaking in my boots.
Well, here we go, friends. We're on our final commercial break, and then Matt and I will bring you home for the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7, Edmonton Oilers, Florida Panthers, third period. You got to believe. That's all it comes down to.
Hey, that's why I talked to the dryer guy. I said, I believe in you.
I believe you can do this. Well, that's a good vote of sentiment, because I kind of need to do some laundry here before heading up to Cold Lake tomorrow night. But, yeah, we're waiting.
Nice. What are you doing up in Cold Lake?
I'm going up boating. Going to take Canada Day long weekend to go hit the lake and actually
get out of town. Yep, no way.
Quite honestly.
No doubt about it, eh? Yeah, boy. Love it. This is playoff hockey, and then we get to enjoy the summer here, guys.
And that's just the crazy thing, right? Like, we're going to hit the lake running right as soon as this series is over.
Here we go, baby. So, yeah, she's coming.
But the Oilers and Florida Panthers, friends, we're waiting for the commercial breaks to come to an end, and then we're going to wrap this one up with a pretty bow. And I will say...
you know what you have to look at right now? They made it all this way. Just can't have no regrets now.
Nope.
That's the main thing.
Just whatever's going to happen, leave it all out there.
20 minutes. This is the 20 minutes of the rest of your life. Right now. Yep. That's what a coach told me going into a game. I think it was game 5, and we had to win it. And we were down 3-1. And we came back and we won it. And they said, leave it all out. This is your last 20 minutes of your life in hockey. And that was midget for the playoffs. And next year, I was going junior. Right? So make it memorable. And these guys have been worked so hard from where they began to the middle of the season, going on a hot streak, and just figuring in their whole team and actually making chemistry. Let's see them do it. I'm excited to see this, but I'm excited to see both teams come out flying. And hidden.
That's just it. Florida is not about to just shell away from this hockey game.
No.
I know you've seen Kachuk turtle once this hockey game.
Yeah.
They ain't going to turtle in the fashion that gives the Oilers a victory.
You know what? They got to get pucks to the net, stay out of the damn box. Pardon my French. And you know what? They just got to keep their legs moving constantly. Can't stop.
Well, let's do this, friends. Face off at center ice. Henrique loses it back. The final draw to open a period possibly in these Stanley Cup Finals. It's fired behind Stuart Skinner by Florida. Broberg reels it up the left wing, and it's turned over to Tarasenko, who just came out of the pile with the puck. Near side, Lundell rips the shot in front. It deflects and somehow came right back to the near side, back to the point. Ekman-Larsson, shot blocked in front. And this one will now be a puck in the near side corner along the wall. Loose to Reinen, back to the point. Ekman-Larsson down low to Tarasenko, wrapped in front off the pads there of Skinner. And this one will be lifted out to center ice. And here comes Janmark, who takes contact and then lost the puck to Forsling. And it'll be picked up now by Bouchard, dribbling it ahead through the neutral zone. The Oilers just can't get a puck cleanly across the Florida line. Jammed back by the Panthers to Matthias Ekholm inside his own end on the far side dot. He'll roll up past the circles and now across the line and hammer it in at center. Off the boards into the near side. McDavid skulking as he comes along the wall there and is able to free up the puck for Hyman, who gets it back to him. Back to Bouchard, the shot, traffic in front, rebound McDavid just couldn't come up with the puck and fire it, but now he does as he's back to the far side point. Here's Ekholm, the shot right in front onto the Florida Panthers tape. The Oilers pass it away. Verhaeghe back the other way, trying to wheel and deal. The Oilers have come out here early on in this hockey game with quite an effort in this third period, as here's now Holloway pouncing on that puck. And instead, Florida was able to send him flying. McDavid ties up, tries to take not a too many men call there. And now here comes Bennett back the other way. The shot up over top of the net goes wide. And this one will be battling here along the wall. Foegele sees it jam back down behind the net. Here's Ceci trying to keep it along the wall. Draisaitl swoops in to come up with that puck. Over now to Kulak. Kulak to Ceci. Mr. Game 7 for the Oilers is what his quote-unquote nickname has become here over the past weekend, as the Oilers jam it behind the Florida Panthers net. Foegele behind now to Draisaitl, taps it along the near side boards. Ceci comes crashing down. Florida helps it along to the point. Instead, Holloway's able to keep it in and then take Rodriguez along the wall. Okposo battling there, is able to free it up for Florida. The Oilers turned back. Across the line, Draisaitl taps it onside. That's as far as he's going to get. 2.5 gone here in the third period as Foegele. Down the wing pass right in front for Perry. Couldn't find him. Alone in front, and this one will now be worked back out by Florida into the Oilers zone. Here's Nurse wheeling off the end wall. Leaves it there. Left it for Lomberg accidentally, and then Nurse is going to turn it over to Lomberg a second time in a row, and Nurse again battling there against Lomberg, taken down that time. And the Oilers chop it out into the neutral zone. Dribbles across the line to the near side dot. In behind, picked up by Ekman-Larsson. 17 minutes to go as he starts out from Bob, as this one goes to the far side for Luosterainen. Across the line, taken down there, the Florida Panthers player. Then Derek Ryan kind of bails on the play as it goes along the boards. And here's a steal for McLeod. He'll start out the other way for, I believe, Zach Hyman. Couldn't quite get him going. And now this is Luosterainen down and out on the play. Here's McDavid on the attack. And are they going to rule a high stick on the play? McDavid whistled down for a penalty here. So Luosterainen checking for blood, trying to draw the call.
Trying to draw it.
Yep, as I think he's saying he got whacked in the eye or something. But again, if you're not bleeding, it's not a 2-minute. Bouchard's the one nailed for the call here.
Let's see.
And this is the good chance right out of the gate for Florida that bounced up off of Broberg and Luosterainen in front. And then this is the opportunity here for the Oilers early on that had us buzzing, as Ekholm just missed the pass through. And then all of a sudden you have it coming back, the chance for Perry off a stick. It was going to hit him, but the Panthers were able to get it going. As Bouchard's stick does come up and catch Luosterainen in the face.
Not serious though. That was because of the contact.
Yeah. Again, though, I guess similar with that Kachuk tripping call, you got to be careful on the play, because definition is as Skinner, 7 seconds into the power play, makes the save on the one-time shot off the point pass, and here we have it. We have a save made, and the penalty kill up and underway with the first save of the power play for the Florida Panthers. And friends, we'll see what the Oilers have in store here as this period continues along, as that was a good-looking shot for Barkov. The tip in front from Reinhart just couldn't get it through. And now here it's down off the draw. The Oilers flip it into the Florida zone. Sort of the vacuum going, trying to suck out the dryer line. 16:22 to go in this third period of play. Ekman-Larsson, no, he just about lost that puck. As this will be carried along the wall now by Barkov over to the near side. Tarasenko down low as this one coming off the end wall, as Ekholm trying to battle it there, trying to free it up. Here's Nuge getting it going now for Henrique, lifted out by Henrique. $1:20 to go in the power play as Bobrovsky has to glove that down like a shortstop. With 15:55 to go in the third period of play. Time wasting away on the Panthers power play, as this one's to the near side. Shot fired in by Verhaeghe. Over the line, it goes into the far side corner. The Oilers get away with almost turning over the puck and then starting back the other way. Brown and Janmark. Brown cutting to the front of the net. Brown with the tip! Just goes wide. 15:35 to go in the third period as we rush back the other way. Here's Rodriguez, bent back by Broberg on the penalty kill. Back behind the net now to the far side, as here's the Panthers. Rodriguez again, looking around, back to the high point. It's going to go to Sam Bennett, who rips the shot through traffic, blocked in front. With 40 seconds to go in this third period power play for the Florida Panthers. We're just about 5 minutes into the third period. The shot ripped on net blocked in front again by the Oilers. Ekblad comes up with the puck. Nice, quick stabs at the puck there by the Florida Panthers. Back to the blue line it comes now for Montour. Montour over Ekblad. Cues up the one-timer. He queued it up way too early and hit his stick awkwardly on the ice and miscued that puck hard. And here now battles along the near side boards. Lundell has it stolen away. Bounce right in front. Wild whack at it by Bennett. Skinner down on the puck. I don't think Bennett even made contact with that, actually.
No, he just took a couple stabs. Stabs at Skinner.
He just threw his stick at it, hoping to hit it.
Yeah.
And now we have 4 seconds to go in the Florida power play. And what a chance there for Janmark over to Brown. He missed it. I thought he got the tip and just put it wide. But there's actually Bennett got the shot off initially. And then it hit the skate of the Oilers player in front. And Bennett also hit the other side of the skates. 14:41 to go in this third period of play. I'm watching the clock hard. This is Game 7, third period. 2-1 Florida leads with 4 seconds to go in a power play. This is getting serious, as Jack says. As this one now face off for Derek Ryan and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the ice, I'm sure. As this is going to be one back to the point now for Florida. 2 seconds to go in the power play as that was blocked in front. A key block for the Oilers. Barkov along the wall there, trying to keep it in the zone to free up the defense to get back in case McDavid and Draisaitl come flying over the boards. Forsling inside his own zone with the puck following the clear by the Oilers. As there's now Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, I'm sure, on the ice for the orange and blue as this puck goes up off of somebody into the benches. And Ray Ferraro scuffs his feet and says, well, you're going to have to do more than that to hit me between these benches.
Oh, yeah. It's getting intense.
Yep.
Oiler fans are getting more intense.
Yep.
But got to stay out of the box now.
The Oilers' 50-50 draw is over $16 million, friends. If you're in Alberta, that's the one thing I can tell you. Get your tickets. 14:15 to go in this third period to play. Oilers fans across the stadium. Little pins and needles here as this one is now Forsling over to Ekblad. Ripped in by Ekblad down the wall. Everybody's saying play on. Both linesmen waving their arms. As there now comes Draisaitl looking for that pass to McDavid. It's cut off by Florida, turned back. Draisaitl has to get back defensively against Bennett. He did. And then Bouchard couldn't quite handle it as Ekholm takes a man out behind the net. That's Bennett flopping around like a fish out of water. And here's now Draisaitl on the backhand. Starting the other way. Draisaitl comes up with the puck on the right wing. Draisaitl pushing down. He gets hauled down there by Forsling. And this will be worked out as the Florida Panthers just looking bigger and stronger out there right now. The Oilers got to pick themselves up here in this moment, realize what's ahead of them, and get the job done as McDavid loads up the attack back the other way as he's going to bang off the boards to Foegele. Gets it right back to McDavid, who overskated the puck. And then Ceci knocks it down on the clearing attempt and rips it right back in. Here's Bobrovsky to the far side corner. Foegele hustling after it. It's going to be bounced out of the zone by Florida. 13:10 to go in the third period. Picked up Kulak up off the boards. Ripped back in by the Oilers. Here's Ryan McLeod coming after it. Foegele out there with McLeod and Perry. And Perry's going to go chasing along the wall to turn that puck back. They do. Here's the Oilers across the Florida line. Foegele, the shot glove down by Bobrovsky. And I said it in the intermission, Matt. It's going to come down to the way the Oilers have been winning the face-off battle tonight. You win a face-off, you get a goal, everything changes.
Yeah.
Coming out of this TV timeout,
yeah,
this might be the face-off.
This has to be the face-off then.
Friends, I'm going to take a quick second so as I can call the rest of the game. I'm going to use the bathroom quickly. Matt, you've got them for right now. Let's take this home.
Boy, what do we got going on in the chat here? Yeah, you're right. Game 1 Oilers did show up for Game 7. I see that. Yeah, I actually see what they're talking about. They're not playing how they did in Game 4, 5, and 6. It's getting very serious out there. Right now, both teams need one in the cup, but Florida's up, so they get to play a little bit back on their feet to keep Edmonton away from their net. So that's why they're only getting shots from the outside, not the inside. They got to get pucks in front, make Bobrovsky move, make some passes, make some good deflections. Chat rules, not you rule, bud. Matt. Ayo, Mitchell. Thumbs up back, you guys. Loving it. But just reading the chat.
Just reading the chat. Well, that's a
Yeah.
good, safe place to go. All right, friends. Again, as K. Ferg's saying, if you haven't already hit the like button yet tonight on the stream, I got to tell you, get that done. We're just about to 200, sitting at 183 right now. But yeah.
What's that? Asking for a will you do an after show
tomorrow? Well, tomorrow
that'd be cool.
It would be cool, but I'm hitting the highway and I'm going as far north as one can possibly go. After work on a Tuesday evening. Cold Lake's 6.5 hour drive if you do it wrong, and I plan on doing it wrong because I might plan on stopping downtown Edmonton to grab some gear on the way through.
Hey, that's next and in the middle of next month. I'm down in Kamloops.
There you have it. As we're back to play here, Draisaitl off the draw, drags behind the net, back to the far side point. Bouchard rips the shot through traffic, and you got to get that puck a little bit more down or Bob's going to keep snagging her out of the air.
Making it a little easy for him.
Here we are, but hey, you know what? We're just about to even up the shots here. It looks like we got 16-19 for Florida right now, and we got to get this done here in this third period. 12:39 to go for Florida right now. Pressure's on them. They got to maintain a 1-goal lead against the notoriously late strike in Edmonton Oilers. That's a tall task, but the Oilers obviously want to even this up ASAP and then lock down another goal ASAP. Draw off to the far side boards. Hyman's able to come away with it. Hyman behind the net. He's stapled along the wall, taken down there by Florida. McDavid along the boards, back to the point now for Bouchard. McDavid again taps it back. Never got past as a nice play by Verhaeghe. Was able to turn back the captain of the Oilers, Connor McDavid, as here's now Ekholm inside his own zone as Verhaeghe just took down McDavid. I'll see if that's a call. Doesn't appear to be, as that it gets an uproar from, it sounds like, Oilers fans within the building as the puck goes out of play, and it will be inside the Florida zone for a face-off once more inside the 12-minute mark.
They're not going to call the chipping calls now.
No.
They're going to call something that's serious only. Like that high stick, they're going to be calling stuff like that.
Yeah, the easy... Clear as day, can't mistake it on the video replay.
Yeah, that little chippiness. This is just playoff hockey.
Well, and that's just it, right? Is you got at some point, even if it's way too late, the whistles have to be buried. The whistles have to be buried, as this one will be a face-off now outside the Florida line. They had originally ruled it was going to be inside, but then they ruled it outside, and here it's now going to be Nurse backhanding along the wall now for Broberg. Broberg spun it there, took some contact and made a really smart play to the far side boards and now ran in by the Oilers. Here's Broberg chasing into the zone. He's going to tap it up along the wall. Florida thought they had it, and I guess they do, as Broberg eludes the puck there, and it'll go all the way into the Oilers goal line area for an icing call. That was...
That's good. They've been out there for a while.
Yeah, that was a little broken there for...
Florida,
yeah. They thought they had the puck, then they played it along the boards,
They're
thought
getting
they had
a little
it again.
comfortable.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to start having a little bit of, not laziness, but just complacency.
I hope so.
Right? Well, as an Oilers fan, you want to hope so, but again, if I'm calling this down the middle for the Florida Panthers fans watching, you don't want to see them start getting complacent, as this one's now here. Bouchard off the wind draw by the Oilers, loading up Draisaitl down the wing, made the man miss. Draisaitl dangling behind the net. Draisaitl dragged to the outside, one-handed, now back, now at the point for Bouchard. Ekholm, the shot blocked in front by Sergei Bobrovsky. Another save for him as Draisaitl's the first one to the puck. Ekholm blasts another puck blocked in front. And that's the thing, the Oilers are at some point going to have to drive the puck into the crease. And this one will have to start getting a little bit more greasy. Where's Corey Perry the Worm when you need him? As here's Ekholm battling through a couple of stick checks over to Draisaitl. Draisaitl across the line. Will spin off the check of Forsling right onto the tape of Bennett, and back the other way come the Florida Panthers as they're over center into the far side blue line, and we will have a stoppage at the line.
Yep.
Because I think the one Florida Panther, Matthew Tkachuk, I believe it was,
of course, it's Tkachuk.
5 feet offside on that play. As that's wow.
Nice kick save.
Yep, good play there by Bobrovsky.
That was the defenseman making the shot block. That was the skate.
I thought I saw Bob turn up the skate there. My apology. Sorry, that one again. That was a quick little replay. My eyes aren't functioning so well looking into the bright lights down here in the studio. As Cece will go over to the far side. Yes, I'll make excuses at this point in Game 7. As here's Rodriguez battling across the line, and he will fire it down low. And yeah, all of a sudden, Matt, Florida's made a couple straight icings. The Oilers have had some jam in their step the past 2 minutes.
Florida's just trying to hold on now. That's their mentality. But if you give them a chance, they're going to make you pay.
They will. But the problem is, as the Oilers can't do against the Panthers, and as the Panthers can't do against the Oilers, you can't just hope to hang on. I mean, you can. It's just not a great recipe.
You have the lead, so you can.
I mean, it is Game 7.
Oilers would be doing it too right now.
Yeah, as this will be a face-off by Nugent Hopkins, one to the far side wall, and Fogel's battling there against Ekholm. Fogel's getting a good couple of chops on Ekblad there, and Ekblad takes a run at Fogel for it, and now Fogel's trying to keep this one alive against Tkachuk, who's lost his stick. Fogel fires it over the near side boards. McLeod coming up off the wall will backhand down low. And this one will be now Nugent Hopkins along the wall looking to make the play. It'll be backhanded by Florida. Back to the point, note by Cece. Here's now, let's go Oilers chance raining down in Florida. You want to hear that. 9:50 to go in this third period of play. Oilers fans know what this team's got. Here's Holloway down the left wing, turned back. Kulikov was able to swipe in at the blue line and come up with that puck on a defensive effort for the Panthers. 9:40 to go, friends. If your hearts weren't about to stop earlier in the game, just you wait until the Oilers get that next glorious chance on net. Here's Broberg dancing along the wall. He dragged it along the wall as long as he could, leaving it now for Derek Ryan. As this puck will be picked up by Kulikov. Kulikov will roll along the wall. Lomberg back, turned there by the Oilers. Fired out by Kulikov back into the Oilers zone. And this is going to be a long last half of the third period if Florida can only manage to get to their blue line and fire it into the Oilers zone. At some point, Connor's going to take over as he hits the ice right now. The Oilers, obviously you got nothing to lose like you were talking about. Lay it on the line here and get the job done in this third period. Yes, overtime's a thing, but you got to get one even if you want to get there. Here's Bouchard off the face-off draw. The Oilers winning every draw here, it seems, late in this hockey game. Bouchard now over to Ekholm. Ekholm will leave it again for Bouchard at the point. Now over to Draisaitl. Draisaitl back to the point for Ekholm. The shot through traffic, bounced up off a guy. That was Lomberg taking down the Panthers back the other way. Across now, here's Reinhart in on net. He's swallowed up by Leon Draisaitl, the defensive effort of a guy who's been called lazy a million times over, as Draisaitl will skate back the other way. Here's McDavid trying to get across the line, turned back. Ekholm can only fire it in as McDavid's 500 feet offside, or thereabout, as Forsling, now back from behind his own net, will come over to the near side, bounce it up off the boards. Bounce there by Henrique. We'll try and flutter it through the middle off a board, and that will be chopped out there by the Oilers, who are just trying to hang on and get this out and get their third, fourth line and whatever of Janmark, Brown, and Henrique started as the puck over to Kulak. Kulak along the far side wall. Got it back to the blue line. Florida collapsed down on the Oilers twice over, and now 27 on 27 board battle. As Luosterainen and Kulak came up with that battle, it was Henrique peeling it away, back the other way, right on Bobrovsky, who had to come out and play the puck. And Janmark, if he hadn't been angled out there, would have made life very interesting for Sergei Bobrovsky.
Haven't got the shots on net that they need.
Not yet.
Not at all.
No. And what an effort there for the Oilers. Getting back defensively. Draisaitl battling Reinhart. And now we'll see what it all comes down to here with 7:51 to go in this third period of play, friends. 2-1 the score for the Florida Panthers. My jersey is drenched in sweat on the arms where I'm holding my hands. Of course, the moisture from the water bottle doesn't do any justice to that, but here now is the face-off for Rodriguez. The Florida Panthers do win one. finally, and it's going to bounce all the way down to Stuart Skinner. It'll be an icing call instead again. We don't even get 10 seconds out of the gate, and we get another icing call here. Florida in desperation mode in a different way. The Oilers are in desperation mode, but Florida desperate to hold on for dear life. The Oilers are pushing here. They're forcing them to ice the puck. And this is where it gets interesting with 7:45 to go in the third period. The shots are almost dead even. Florida holds the edge by 1. 19-18. Here's Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman on the ice again. Chris Knobloch's going to run those guys into the ground to tie this hockey game, but also no contributions coming from elsewhere. Ekholm off the face-off win once more. Here's McDavid circling at the blue line. He lost the puck and it was chopped out, as McDavid just has not looked his sharp self tonight, but here he has the puck again, dancing along the right wing, bouncing a puck off the skates. Here's Draisaitl on a nice pickup. Draisaitl a shot in front. Rebound comes to McDavid. He's taken down. And now here's Bouchard. The shot through traffic comes over to Draisaitl near side. Draisaitl up, spins it off the boards. Ekholm over to Bouchard. The one-timer kicked out by Bobrovsky. 7:11 to go here in this third period of play. Shot down in front. McDavid. Rebound Hyman. Off of Bobrovsky. The save made. Jammed across the line. And there is a whistle blowing on the play. Hyman had dove across the line. With 7:02 to go, they blew it.
They blew it before.
Yeah, they
Bobrovsky
did.
must have had it, and they must have chipped at it. We could see nothing there.
No, the Oilers' best chance of the hockey game
Let's see here.
goes by the wayside as a shot there, and it goes across the line, and then they're saying Bennett had it underneath him, unless it's to be a penalty shot for covering it up with the glove by Bennett or something,
right?
Like we once upon a time saw in 06. As this one, I mean, that's tight. But we will go to a commercial break.
Maybe they're looking at it.
Maybe they'll look at it. Maybe they'll try and figure it out.
Or you know what? They might shrub it off. It's in Florida.
Well, no, I don't think that one was in by any definition unless.
But a player can't be in their own goalie's crease and cover it.
Well, I think it's with the glove. You can cover it in the crease with any.
If you fall on it.
Yeah. And that's what Bennett did. He fell in there.
He fell into it.
Yeah.
But you just can't see. Refs saw it. We'll just see what they come up with.
Well, and we haven't seen that reverse angle where the ref was standing, right? So you show me that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll start giving you a better opinion. Right now.
Yeah, and the ref was like right above the goal net, so he saw it all. He's going to call the right call. And that's my emotions. I'm just getting fired up like, that should have been in.
No, I get that. I do not want to be that guy so bad. And I think no matter what, at the end of the day, as the losing team, you're always going to somewhat be that guy. So here we go, friends.
No, that was just a good mess around play.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens
Goalie
here.
flat in his back, pulling the Dominator, flopping around.
Yeah.
You know, I love seeing that, though.
Oh, yeah, 100%. When you have a goalie going out there in desperation mode like that to stop the puck, you got to admire that every day.
100%.
As the Oilers just moments away from deciding their fate in this season. Are you going to score that next goal to even it at 2? Or is it Florida in a nail-biter for the Cup?
And this is where they've thrived off playing close games this year. So let's see if they've learned from it. They got to keep pushing through, and at least they're getting to the net now, right? They're not just shooting from the point mostly. They're getting inside. That's good. That's a good start.
Well, and Sergei Bobrovsky has been given the top performer by CBC, Sportsnet, Hockey Night in Canada, whatever you want to call it.
He's getting straight on shots, so you can't beat him that way.
No, you got to drive it into the paint.
Yep.
7:02 to go. Face off, one back by the Oilers. Here's Bouchard along the far side wall. He spins off a check over to Ekholm. Ekholm's going to skate here to the middle of the ice and fire it over now for McDavid. McDavid right in front for Draisaitl. Puck hopped up over top of the net to the near side boards. And Barkov will be able to slap it out into center ice as McDavid touches it offside. And with 6:43 to go in this third period of play, we'll have another stoppage. And I thought we'd be done this game around 9 o'clock. Well, it's 8:39 right now, so there's a strong possibility. But just crazy to think that we're going to start at pretty much run time, this 2.5 hours exactly. As here's now Hyman. He looks locked in. McDavid, Draisaitl tap each other on the pants there, boys. That's been a success recipe once this season. Face off. Center ice between Rodriguez And Nugent Hopkins goes to the far side wall. It's tapped along, down low into Florida territory, as that's a nice play over by Rodriguez to Mikula, who lost it in a scramble. The shot by the Oilers fired on Bobrovsky, and we had, I think, a stoppage in play before that.
Just
Whistle.
as he shot.
Now whistle blew. As 6.5 to go in this third period. Chris Knobloch looking his calm usual self, looking out from underneath those eyebrows as he usually does. Keeps the head nice and even keel against the camera. As this will be Broberg firing it in. I guess they ruled it offside or something, or a high stick by the Oilers maybe. I don't know. As this will be played now along the boards, kept in. Broberg offside. So the Oilers now guilty of some offsides here, as this one will be along the end wall. Broberg battling along the wall. 6:05 to go in this third period of play. Everybody's got it tied up. Rodriguez bleeding clock here. Nurse is leaning on him hard, and he's just bending him right over as Rodriguez refuses to do anything with that puck. And we're going to have a stoppage in play right here, right now, as McDavid says, let's go, boys. Let's get this done. We know we can get the next one. Let's go do it. As Nugent Hopkins, everybody on the ice. We haven't seen much of that third line. I wonder if they're the ones to start this last shift coming out of the commercial break.
Exactly.
As the Oilers.
Well, they're pressing. They're getting in there now. Just slowly, they gotta get it to go.
Yep, you gotta
getting closer and closer, and
you gotta bite one.
Yeah, you never know who's gonna be the guy to do it. You don't know.
The Oilers would love for a guy to come up clutch right now for them, and obviously
love to see Brown.
Brown would be absolutely fantastic to see. So here we go, friends. Commercial break in progress. Again, this might be the final time, Matt, you and I get a say while everybody here is aboard. Thank you so much for enjoying the live streams back home with Matt and I, obviously adding him in for the playoff coverage. Matt, honestly, I've had a lot of people joke about coming on stream, but the second you said it, I could see the look in your eye. You were serious.
What do you mean?
When you said at the shop there, when you're like, well, can I come on stream? And I'm like, I've had a lot of people say that to me, and they're like, oh, I'm just kidding. You were serious about it, and my friend, you have delivered an amazing Stanley Cup Finals and playoffs run to remember. Thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thank you for having me. I love hockey. I played it since I was 6. I'm 37, so, you know.
Bring it home.
Love it.
Let's do this, friends. We got just under 7 minutes to go, and we'll see what the Edmonton Oilers can do here. They're shining up. The cup is Mr. Pritchard, I think is his last name, as he's getting things all shiny there one last time. There's a couple of weird dents in that Stanley Cup.
Oh, you know there's going to be dents. Right? It's been everywhere.
As we will have the face-off.
We could play that Johnny Cash song for the Stanley Cup. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
Florida Panthers fans on their feet. Oilers fans on their feet as well, as the Oilers look to try and take this outside their own zone for a face-off. Henrique, I told you that third line would be out there. I had a feeling. You want to see Connor Brown score the biggest goal of the Edmonton Oilers season thus far? Well, we might just see it here on this shift, as this one will come back along the wall. This one will be battling now to the middle of the ice. Shot fired through by Florida. Here's Tarasenko down the wing. Shot. And Mr. Stuart Skinner hasn't seen a lot of them this period, but he makes that one. Kind of tied it up easily in the equipment, and we'll have the face-off inside the Oilers zone with 5:34 to go in this third period of play. Skinner just swallowed that puck up, let it sit right on top of the pad to freeze it up. 21-20 the shots for the Oilers. Tarasenko can't believe he didn't bury it. And now 5.5 to go in this third period. Let's see what the Oilers can muster on a face-off inside their own zone. Matt, I hope you're handling okay, because I know I'm not. As here's McDavid in the draw. He's going to see it scrambled up to the near side. Ekholm is able to allow Bouchard to get back to it. Puck comes along the wall. Hyman's busting inside the zone. Puck take a crazy hop off the end wall. It'll be an icing call against the Oilers with 5:25 to go in this third period. 2-1 for the Florida Panthers is the score. As here we go. Just about to enter the final 5 minutes of action here this evening. and potentially in this season. As the face-off, McDavid will be waved out. Hyman skirts around there. And now the face-off for McDavid, as he wasn't officially waved out. Florida wins it back. Forsling will fire the shot down off the stick of Barkov as Ekholm will go behind the net now. Ekholm will fire up there now for Draisaitl. As this comes now near side, fired backhand there by McDavid is offside. And we'll see where this goes with 5:10 to go in this third period. Hey, too early to get defeated yet.
Oh, so bad.
Nerves. I know.
A shot.
I am trying my best to hold it together here for you, friends. This is where it comes down to the final 5:10. 310 seconds for the Edmonton Oilers. One last time to save their season against the Florida Panthers in Amerant Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida, as this one continues to battle along the wall as Ekholm sends Reinhart flying. Ekholm comes away with the puck. He'll go beyond the net against Verhaeghe. He's harassed there, and this one's going to be Verhaeghe back up along the boards. Barkov backhands down low to Verhaeghe. Chasing behind the net now. Bouchard is going to be spun around a couple of times, but managed to be able to come up with the puck and help Draisaitl on with it. Draisaitl's taken down on a hard hit there. Shot fired by Barkov. Saves made by Stuart Skinner. So there you have it. As this one now, just 4.5 to go in this third period of play. And now Draisaitl will try and possibly win another face-off here for the Oilers, or will we go back to Henrique here? As 4.5 to go in the third period. 2-1 the score, and you know Draisaitl and McDavid are saying to each other on the bench there.
They got one more shift.
We said cup or bust. Let's cup this thing. 2-1 the score, 21-21 the shots. If that ain't a sign, I don't know what is. As this one will come back near side boards. Battling along the wall. Both teams tie up off the draw. As Rodriguez, Tkachuk have the puck there for Florida. So did the Oilers defenseman. And now skating away with it is Philip Broberg down the ice. He'll fire it in to the Florida zone as here comes along the wall. A nice hit by Nugent Hopkins. Nurse fires a shot off the pads of Bobrovsky. Just couldn't buy a bounce there in front. And here's now Nurse again looking to the far side boards. 4 minutes to go in this third period to play. Puck to the near side. Nugent Hopkins fires it down low. And this one now freed up for Foegele. Foegele will go back to the point for Nurse. Nurse looks to rip the shot. Faked out once, faked out twice. The shot. Bobrovsky flops in front. Here's Bouchard blocked in front. Scramble in the crease. Bob still down. Pucks to the far side. Nugent Hopkins down as Bobrovsky doesn't have his stick right here. As this will be picked up now. McDavid has it tapped away from him. And this will come all the way back down to Stuart Skinner for an icing call. With 3:29 to go in the third period.
You had Bob on his back.
You had him on his back. You had him without his stick. You had him everything. And still couldn't quite bury it. As the Oilers got a good chance in front there. McDavid had come on with Nugent Hopkins and Foegele. And Bobrovsky just, the Florida Panthers selling out. Getting it done.
Good.
Getting in front
Florida's
of the puck.
playing really good man to man.
Florida is doing everything
them.
you can do. 3:29 to go. The face-off won back by the Oilers over to the far side. Spinning now. Bouchard goes down low along the boards. It'll go out of play.
Deflected.
With a few seconds to go here before we hit the 3-minute warning in this evening's game. Bill Zito gives a tap on the back to someone. Please let that be the curse. Giving somebody the love before it is confirmed, as this one now. 2-1 the score. With 3:22 to go in the third period of play as Draisaitl in the dot. 30-27 the face-offs for the Oilers. They win another one back. Bouchard fires the shot. It's cleared out by Florida. Turned over there to Draisaitl. Now Ekholm down low. There's a shot from McDavid. Goes wide, and it looked like it had tickled twine. As this one will come back for Verhaeghe down the left wing. He's erased there by Bouchard. The puck's flipped up to the far side wall. Nice wherewithal by Draisaitl to come up with it. He's going to escape past a play of Verhaeghe to try and steal that puck away. And now over to McDavid. McDavid obviously still looking for his moment in Stanley Cup Finals Game 7. Puck's rimmed around to the near side for Bouchard. Shot fired towards the net. Deflected up over top of the net by McDavid. The Oilers just can't hit the twine as McDavid in behind the net now. He will go along the end wall trying to get this going as it'll be picked up now by the Oilers again. Back to Bouchard. The shot through traffic blocked. And here's now Draisaitl looking back to the point again for Bouchard. Bouchard down along the wall. Draisaitl will leave it there for McDavid. McDavid backhand in front as it hops right onto the tape of Ekholm. The shot, rebound, jamming away. The Oilers fall down to the ice and it'll be cleared out by Florida. As with 2:09 to go, the puck will skate all the way to the dot and not be an icing call right there. Bouchard skating along now for Nugent Hopkins. Nuge will flip it there, fired in by the Oilers across the line. Fogle, one last shift for the other guys on the Edmonton Oilers as this comes back. Kachuk along the boards will fire it down inside the Oilers territory. And this one will battle along the boards now. $1:43 to go in the third period of play. Skating away the other way. Here's Warren Fogle down the right wing. He'll cut to the middle. Leave it there now for Nugent Hopkins. Offside is Adam Henrique.
Doesn't matter. You weren't being Bobrovsky there.
No. As this one now, we have just a few moments to go in this hockey game's third period of play. And you look at that, Ekblad getting away with the interference on Connor McDavid. That's fine and dandy. He's still got that glorious chance in front. And then Hyman and Ekholm and everybody in front just couldn't jam that one home or whatever the case might have been. And here we go now, friends. $1:35 to go in the third period of play. Oilers talking things over on the bench. Face-off's going to be
timeout.
Is it a timeout or is it a face-off out in the neutral zone that we're just trying to get underway here? McDavid's skating out there right now. He's trying to talk things over with Bouchard. And this will now be Ken Holland looking on as there you have it. Chris Knobloch takes his time to call that timeout. You knew it was coming. That's called knowing the game right there. That's where you've played and I haven't. At the end of the day, is you knew McDavid was taking his time skating to the dot, and before he was 2 steps there, you call the timeout.
Honestly, Florida's played a really good game to keep Edmonton off the board like this.
100%.
And Oilers have been coming on a little. They figured this out a little too late to me.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobrovsky's just been Bobrovsky tonight. He got beat on that beautiful quick little breakaway.
Yep.
And that's how you have to beat him. You can't get just straight on shots. He's going to see that all day. He's dialed in.
All right, well, here we go. $1:35 to go for the Oilers to try and tie this game. Bill Zito's all of a sudden kind of calmed down the eyes a little bit there. He's not quite as wide-eyed as he was earlier in the game. But let's do this here as the face-off for Draisaitl will be outside the Florida blue line. Everybody guns off the draw. The Panthers turn it back. Bouchard hammers it back into the Florida territory. We've got a shot out by the Florida Panthers to the neutral zone. Ekholm knocked it down. It's an offside against the Oilers if they touch across the line. Instead, Florida back 2-on-2 the other way. Here's Reinhart, tipped off his stick. Here's now Ekholm with the puck. $1:14 to go in the third period of play. Skinner's gone as the Oilers looking to make that pass. Is nice play there by Ekholm. It'll be bobbled by Florida as now here comes Bouchard. Net empty for the Oilers. Minute to win it here, or at least send it to overtime if you're the Edmonton Oilers. Puck's bounced off the boards. Bouchard's going to see it come down, and Florida somehow not guilty of icing there with 50 seconds to go in this third period of play. As this one comes along the boards now, fired in behind the net. Ekblad's going to go over to the far side. Draisaitl, it'll be fired up by Florida, tipped past Bouchard. Bouchard's trying to not have that go in. It goes off the end, back in the net. 30 seconds to go. Shot fired by Florida. Here comes Connor McDavid turning the puck over. Rodriguez fires the shot. It goes wide of the net. 24 seconds to go in this third period of play. Florida on their feet. The Oilers with 18 seconds to go. And Draisaitl misses the pass as the puck comes into the near side corner. And my friends, time winding down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2-1.
It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely unbelievable season.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Congratulations to the Florida Panthers on their Stanley Cup victory. The Oilers, they bust.
Yep.
At the very last second.
Yep.
If you would have told any of us, especially myself, back in November, that the Oilers were going to bust June 24th in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, I wouldn't have believed you for a second.
No.
That team in November was not capable. And like Florida last year, this is the Oilers' moment that makes them win next year, right?
Yep.
I think for Florida, all their talk coming into the Stanley Cup Final last year, or this year, was about how last year meant this year was their year.
Yep.
Right? And they ran showed up, and got the job done time and time again throughout the season. The Oilers, well, they stumbled out of the gate. Took a long time to get where they were. But they end up in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final regardless. And it's a crushing defeat. I can say that much for sure. But at the end of the day, yeah, the Oilers weren't all that impressive in that second or third period. You lost by a goal.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you got blown out. It's not like you got run over by Florida. You
showed up in the series too late.
Exactly. You know what?
Bounces didn't go their way in certain times, and then they did.
Yep. And you win Game 1, right? Everybody says, realistically, the Oilers should have won Game 1 if it was not for Sergei Bobrovsky.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
He stole a game. Stuart Skinner stole a couple himself in this series.
Yep.
But Bob stole the one that had to be stolen. Game 7, Stuart Skinner, good enough to win. Bobrovsky wins the cup because he had already won one beforehand.
Yeah.
Right? So, end of the day, it's
a big learning curve.
It's a big learning curve. And
they actually made it to the cup finally with McDavid.
Exactly. You can't say that the Oilers can't win the Stanley Cup with McDavid. You look at the handshakes here. Everybody on Florida is just giving the Oilers the, wow, guys, you gave us a run for our money. We thought we were going to dummy this. We were ready to take this home, and this is how it ends up finishing.
Yep. Bobrovsky sat on top.
Yep. And you know what? End of the day, the only thing we got left to see here on the Dolynny TV live stream before we call it a night is who gets the Conn Smythe Trophy. Obviously, I'm not any partial to watching Florida parade the cup around.
Nope.
I don't need to see that. Just like I didn't need to see it in 06 for Carolina.
Yeah.
And friends, we'll take this one home. But obviously, the Kachuk family celebrating a Stanley Cup for Matthew, as he's still shaking hands out there with some of the Oilers' depth guys. Sergei Bobrovsky shakes hands with Ryan McLeod. Connor McDavid's through the line as we try to set up who will come and grab that Conn Smythe, and then that will be all we write here. But I think very well, I'm going to be interested to see at the end of the day what the excuses for the Oilers are, right? What injuries were they playing with? What did McDavid have? What did Draisaitl have?
No, they got outplayed in this game.
No, but I know, like, when it comes down to this whole playoffs, right? What was Draisaitl playing through? We all knew he was hurt.
Yeah, and that's the problem. You can make that excuse, but
it's just excuses. But I'm just interested, right? As a hockey fan on the losing end, I want to know, okay, what else was going on?
Well, look how Skinner was. He was lots of goals. And in this series, he flipped it around.
Yep.
He brought them back. He actually made good saves to make them get those winning goals.
Yep.
It's like if he would have got that second goal, what would have happened?
That's just it.
You know what I mean? And that's the one thing in the old myth. Goalies win you championships.
Yep.
And this is just coming up a little too late.
That's just it. And Connor McDavid's standing by the bench here. He's looking things over, wondering, hey, do I got to go out there and lift one more trophy this year or what? It was an unreal run for the Edmonton Oilers, an unreal finish to it. I mean, we were never asking for excitement in this Game 7.
Yeah.
This was...
And Perry's little myth continues on.
Yep. You lose with Corey Perry in the Cup final as Skinner and Picard hug it out, and Picard quickly runs Skinner down the tunnel as the Oilers head down. As I think McDavid is headed down the tunnel, so I believe we're going to see Roberto Luongo hug Sergei Bobrovsky right there. Luongo had bounced the drum earlier in this game.
And Lou's never won one, so he gets to be there for one.
Yeah. I think he's in the front office, so he's actually still a team member. But
yeah, but he didn't win one as a goalie.
No.
Bronski did it for him.
And you have now Kyle Okposo is a Stanley Cup champion. And Mr. McDavid's just as staggered by it as everybody else.
Yeah, but you know what? They know that he's just going to come. McDavid's parents, that staggered face, they're just looking at watch him next year.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what everyone's going to say, oh, whatever, that's next year. No, this just makes, how much Edmonton's improved in this 1 year with new coaching.
Yep.
Just look out next year. Honestly, and then there's going to be changes next year. I don't even know who's signing is up.
Well, let's just say I don't very much so either, because we've been worried about the Stanley Cup playoffs for 2.5 months. So here you have it.
Right, because they probably won't bring Perry back. Are they going to bring Brown back? Right? Are they going to try to keep Picker?
Well,
right. I think they should.
I'll tell you, watch for something. Watch for something on those fronts right there. There'll be something going on behind the scenes with one of those three players that you have to kind of might mess around with that equation a little bit.
Oh, hugely, right? Because they had such a good stacked team this year that played well together and still came up short this year, though.
So you have Florida on home celebrating a Game 7 victory. And we're just waiting to figure out who the Conn Smythe Trophy winner will be.
Again, no Canadian team wins.
Right, it comes down to it. The curse continues on. But it's been 31 years since a Canadian team last won the Cup. But guess what last year or next year is? 35 years since the Oilers last won the Cup.
Oh, really? Little anniversary.
You're telling me, little anniversary to get it done. And here we go. We'll see what happens in this one. As we're seeing a whole bunch of highlights of Florida just slapping hands, celebrating.
But thank you everyone for watching and getting all their comments. And a lot of people are saying they love the chat. There's a couple of people that said they love the chat room. It's awesome. Friends, thank you. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I know what it means to Matt. I know what it means to me to have had this opportunity to be a part of the live streams all playoffs long. This is something that I have hoped for every year of running this channel. I thought, hey, the Oilers, they have McDavid, they can do it anytime they want. And they did it all the way to the final. Literally, Florida was not going to win this game until the final buzzer sounded. You were only up a goal. That puck bounces the inopportune way with half a second left. It's a tie hockey game. They played their best game of the series. Absolutely, and that was what everybody knew Florida was going to do, and the Oilers just didn't quite have it in them. But Paul Maurice, Stanley Cup champion for the first time in his career. But you know what? You look at it too, though. They went up 3-0. Yep. And then they had to get pushed to Game 7. It took them 4 times to finish the deal. Yep, and that's not good. No, and that's impressive in and of itself for the Oilers, and the fact that end of the day is, you know what, Florida was a team of destiny. They said that themselves. We lost last year, but that's why we're going to win this year. Yeah. And do what you've done as an Edmonton Oilers team that everyone will detract and say, man, they suck here, they suck here, they suck here. They were in last place in November. They don't deserve to be here, whatever. And you're able to take Florida, not some meddling got into the playoffs, rode hot through the first 3 rounds, New Jersey Devils team kind of deal, or Washington Capitals if they would have went on a dream run. No, this is the Florida Panthers who killed no matter what, killed it this season. They deserve it. Yeah. I'm not sitting here as an Oilers fan saying we should have won, Florida didn't deserve it. No, I would have loved to win. Florida deserved it all the same. Yeah, that's why they're both here.
Yep.
I think it's what, number 2? I think Florida was number 2 out of the league, and Edmonton was number 8 at the end of the year. I think. I want to confirm that just to make sure. That would be interesting just to see. Overall stats. Oh, so Florida was actually 5th.
And the Oilers were 9th.
And Oilers were 9th. That went to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Right? Rangers was 1st. Dallas was 2nd. Carolina, which I really thought Carolina was going to have a breakout year.
I thought so too.
Yeah. But Anderson couldn't keep it out because Rangers are just such a good team. Right?
So we're going to have the Conn Smythe Trophy presented here. As we're going to see, I think Sergei Bobrovsky, based on his performance tonight, has won the trophy. I know there's a lot made about Connor McDavid winning it, and rightfully so, but...
No, it's going to go to the team that wins, usually.
Usually, yep. 9 times, or 99 times out of 100, it seems like.
Hey, if he would have got 4 points last game, 3 points this game.
Yo, if McDavid, 100%.
He could, if he would have beat Gretzky's record, I would give it to him.
And even if he lost.
Exactly.
Right? Even if
but
he lost,
he didn't break Gretzky's record.
No.
He doesn't deserve it. He deserves, all of them deserve that they worked hard to get where they got. Mr. Bettman.
Connor McDavid wins it. Connor McDavid
Did he?
wins it as Mr. McDavid pulls out the phone. And Connor will ultimately come out here to grab the trophy. But,
oh, really?
Yeah.
He beat Gretzky's assist record?
That he did. That's the one thing he did this playoffs, was able to beat Gretzky's assist record. Florida Panthers fans are shocked, but...
Well, hey, he beat Gretzky's record, so...
I don't think McDavid's going to come out onto the ice here.
I would go out.
Well,
I would go out.
I don't think they're showing any shots at Connor here.
He probably doesn't know yet.
That's just it. He's won the Conn Smythe and he has not appeared on the ice as of yet. But friends, that is all she wrote for us. I mean, there's nothing else left to be said. We were waiting for Connor McDavid to win the Conn Smythe. He has, in a losing effort against the Florida Panthers in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. From the bottom of my heart, friends, I cannot thank you enough for what has been an absolute unreal journey from the start of this channel's Oilers tenure to obviously now, but especially this season in particular. It's been amazing. The Stanley Cup coming out for presentation from Florida. Matt, one last handshake. Thank you so much for everything here on the stream throughout the playoffs. My pleasure. And I look forward to running it back with you again next year when it comes playoff time.
Yeah.
Friends, from Dolynny TV, as we transition into the 24-25 season tomorrow, thank you so much for being aboard. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. We're up on out of here.